I could be the one you talk to when you're feeling down. I could be the one you run to when the moon hits the ground. I can say what I'm feeling, but the words just don't come out. If you ever feel lonely, girl, just know I'll come around. 'Cause I've traveled so far just to get to where you are. And I know that you're broken, but that makes you who you are. So pick up the pieces and show me you mean it tonight. I know what you're feeling, I see that look in your eyes. So pick up the pieces and show me you mean it tonight. 'Cause what I've been dreaming is giving you my paradise. Of it all, holding your hand, fighting for the things that we want. Be the rock you lean on, with you by my side. Baby, when we fall, together we'll rise. 'Cause I've traveled so far just to get to where you are. And I know that you're broken, but that makes you who you are. Look in your eyes. So pick up the pieces and show me you mean it tonight. 'Cause what I've been dreaming is giving you my paradise. So pick up the pieces, so pick up the pieces, so pick up the pieces. nervous on the surface, I look fine. My brain feels heavy, my traumatized mind. And I'm so tired, I can't feel my eyes. Whoa, whoa. I'm petty, but I know how to lie. I feel feelings that I can't describe. I'm not breathing, but I'm still alive. Whoa, whoa. But I think I'll be alright, 'cause I'm not giving up, I'm not giving up yet. I feel that it's my time, so I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. So I'ma give it everything, I'ma give it everything I got. I'ma give it everything, I'ma give it everything I got. Hope. So many days have passed. I wait around for things to change, but change has not come fast. I'm asking all the questions, but then I question them. Like, what's the point of living, existing when you can't see your God in flesh? I'm looking for the answers, they say to pray instead. I think I'll find them one day, but with a helping hand. I know that it's not easy, but I believe I will. Yeah, I'll get over all my fears and really conquer everything. I think I'll be alright, 'cause I'm not giving up, I'm not giving up yet. I feel that it's my time, so I'ma give it everything.
a knocker. Step in on the dance and I just my dance. Everything scatter. Right? Right now, man, active. Down with the game like a bandit. Me bring the flame like a matches. Test me now. Without the slackness, active style and pattern, that's a man there. Active. Active. One live life massive. Talking up and off the brandish. Touch road and hold the world hostage. When I start the bumper clad mash pit. When we step out, don't face get active. 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 Now. Clark's on the teeth side, bad bitch on each side. Big splits, chillin' on the beach side. Run things where you feel like. Cake big, have a carve out the peace line. Freestyle now, millions each line. Too cool when I need ice in my beverage. Test this bigger, please find the exit. Right now, man, active. Gone with the game like a bandit. We bring the flame like a matches. Let's me know. Put out the slackness, active style and pattern, that's a man there. Active. Active. One live like massive. Talking up and off the brandish. Touch road and hold the world hostage. When I start the bumper clad mash pit. When we step out, those days get active. Active. Active.
Everything you want, but you can't have. Number one regret, no takebacks. The hole in your chest, that's payback. Payback, yeah, you better take that. You could call me selfish and critical, I could take the blame. Just like I could take a match and send it up in flames. Don't say I didn't want that. This might hurt, but that's just karma. Better take that. Call it payback. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Stay mad, I know you wanna. This might hurt, but that's just karma. That's just That's just karma. Go and play the part, play the victim. Throw a pity party with the demons. Blaming everybody and you're screaming. But I'm the one bleeding. You're the one that's selfish and critical, you could take the blame. Just like I could take a match and send it up in flames. Don't say I didn't warn you, this might hurt. That's just karma. Better take that. Call it payback. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Stay mad, I know you wanna. This might hurt, but that's just karma. That's just karma. That's just karma.
just a joke, just a joke. Shivers my spine so bad. Swimming in the river takes too much. I'm trying to let go of us, but the truth is what's really no one else. My darling, in fire. My darling, rose in fire. You're a liar. You say, my darling, rose in fire. In fire. You say, my darling, rose in fire. You're a liar. Shivers my spine so cold, so swimming in the rivers, swimming in the rivers. I'm trying to let go of us, but the what's really no one else.
Hello, it's been a long, long time. Can't get you off my tired mind. Shadow, let the tape rewind and finally ease my anxious eyes. Oh no, I feel you creeping in, my body bleeding sin. I'm drowning. Heaven, can you save me now from these thoughts inside my head? God, you are the devil, running through my mind. I can't get on your level. I swear to God I tried. I am not under your spell. Turn around and turn ahead. You cannot be anymore. Oh my God, you are the devil. Shadow, will you hold my hand when my demons come to take me? Gallows, try to kill the soul that I fought so hard to save. Hallowed by my love for you, always stop me going under. Follow every step I take, 'cause our walls are coming down. God, you are the devil, running through my mind. I can't get on your level. I swear to God I tried. I am not under your spell. Turn around and turn ahead. You cannot be anymore. Oh my God, you are the devil. In the back of my head and I'm dead. I got the devil inside me and everything I seems red. Vision's blurry, I'm in a hurry, my skin is starting to shed quick. Call up the doctors, swallow some pills, maybe I'll wake up and build it. I'm a disaster, can I move faster? Honey, I'm off the edge. No funny stopping me, I'm let you pop it, you gotta take care of that ledge. My friends are dead, I'm losing my head, I gotta get off of these meds. I am unstable, willing and able, give you this body to pledge. Oh my God, you are the devil. Oh my God, you are the devil.
Best to give me that loyalty. Best to give me that loyalty. Cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. Cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. They'll be calling me royalty.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's another monthly finals here at Arena Esports, powered by Etisalat by EN, with AD Gaming, our strategic partner, and Platonia, our broadcast partner. I'm Tom Delight, joined alongside me here for the first time on broadcasts. Shaky. I incorrectly assumed British because he currently lives in the UK. I'd like to apologize to all the South Africans out there. I messed up. It's okay. It's okay. We're going into the game.
It's okay. If South Africans heard my accent fading away, they'd be on your side probably and having a go at me. But it's really good to be here, man. And yeah, first time being here. Really excited to be able to cast alongside. I've seen some of your CS games as well, and I'm really excited to see some of these games today. But we are talking PUBG Mobile today. I'm excited to see what these teams can bring to the table.
As am I. We have another monthly qualifier on our hands, just a conversation of the format. We'll get to that down the line, so don't fret, of course, if you're confused as to what the heck a monthly qualifier is. The abridged version is we took 8 teams from an invitational qualifier. They all got invited. It's called an invitational qualifier for a reason. Wow, shocking prospect. Then an open qualifier, we took 8 more teams. Wow, it was open to the public. Anybody could play. Again, shocking prospect. And we have an invitational qualifier, open qualifier, now the monthly qualifier. First place makes it to grand finals, 2 through 5 make it to playoffs, and we have 32 teams to the playoffs down the line. Then we send 24 to the grand finals. We'll get into the specifics down the line and who's already made it. You get the general idea, though. The other conversation is how many games we have today. If I'm correct, I'm going to verify with my production, because it is a monthly qualifier. We have 5 games today.
Best of 4. We have best of 4 today.
4 games today. Yeah, that's what I said. That's totally what I said.
Losing just tuck the thumb away and we're pretty much there. Yeah, so it's not 5 today, but we do have 4 games today, which makes it a little bit of a shorter day, but it doesn't take the action away. We've seen so many amazing games so far being played in this event, and I think even just with 4 games, I'm pretty sure these teams are going to give us some massive upsets.
The 2 things that I've learned, given the fact that it's been top 5 and not top 8 with this monthly qualifier, and the fact that it's been 4 games instead of 5, has been that nobody is safe. I don't care if you're sitting in second place comfortably after game 2, you could be in 7th place after game 4, or 8th place, which is what we saw in the last monthly qualifier. You're not safe. Nobody is. You have to keep that same level of consistency, and if you don't, in a game like PUBG Mobile, or really any Battle Royale for that matter, you're not qualifying. It's just not going to happen. You got to wait for the next cycle of monthly or invitational or open qualifiers to try and make it yourself.
Yeah, no, it's I have completely agree with what you're saying. Is you're never safe coming into these games, especially the best of 4. You've got so little time to go up against the point system. I mean, the points in itself, you get points for eliminations, you get points for placement. So getting to the top 10 spot in an event like this is already difficult as it comes. Now you have to try and drop and get the upper hand. So, but again, these teams got so much ahead of them. Prize pool wise, again, with every single event like this, we always have a nice little cash amount that's going out to these teams if they win today. But then obviously they'll go over to the grand finals a bit later. But it's quite nice if you look in front of you. $500 for first place. I mean, for $500 split between 3 people, that is a good lump sum.
And this is United States dollars, not Monopoly money. So keep that in mind. $500, $350 for second, $250 for third. And we have some Arena Esports points in terms of monetary value to hand out as well. Here was that format I was talking about. It's a massive format in comparison to some other events that you'll see. It's over a long period of time as well. Forces some level of sustainability. There are 2 other opportunities, for that matter, for these teams to qualify. At the very bottom, you see where it says open qualifier. If teams don't make it here, they can go through the open qualifier. Or if they don't make it through there, they can go through the last chance qualifier. So keep that in mind down the line. I've also been told incorrect. I thought this was the monthly finals. This is the invitational qualifier. My bad.
Yeah, no. So I quite like the way that this is set up, because you have an opportunity to go over to the monthly qualifiers, and then if you win that, you just get jumped immediately to the front of the line for the grand finals, which helps so much for these big juggernaut teams to get themselves straight to the finals, make sure they got that locked in, and you don't get any funny business in between. But that doesn't mean that second place and third place was not as good as that first place winners. They are still going to move on to the playoffs, and that's going to make for 32 teams that are extremely high caliber, basically close to first place material, going up against each other to be able to make it to that next part of the grand finals. So this format is exceptionally well for good entertainment and seeing what these teams can offer.
Yeah, considering the font is very small, ranks 2 through 5 from monthly finals make it to playoffs. First place makes it to grand finals, and we'll send the other 16 teams of the 32 that make it through playoffs through from the last chance qualifier. It is 4 teams from every monthly final, and 16 teams from the last chance qualifier that go to playoffs, and then the top 12 from playoffs join the 4 direct entrant grand finalists from each monthly final. So, in about I think 3 weeks' time, if I read my schedule correctly, we will have our last monthly final. I don't know if LCQ is being streamed. As far as I'm aware, I think it is because I'm scheduled for something that is not the playoffs or grand finals, so I'm going to go with that. And then playoffs and grand finals down the line in towards the later stages, January and February. I've also just been told, yes, LCQ is being streamed, so I don't just have something random on my schedule. Nice job, me. However, we also got the word that you basically have 2 full chances left to qualify. LCQ, I do not believe, is an open bracket, so it should be the last invited teams from all the close placements of invitational qualifiers, open qualifiers, and monthly finals. The other thing to keep in mind is open qualifier is your last real opportunity to say, oh yeah, we can 100% enter this and have an arguable chance. And that's what I love about this format. You can play 8 games of PUBG Mobile, and you can be in the grand finals. You play 4 good games in the open qualifier, you play 4 good games in monthly finals, and magically you get to wait for everybody else to join you in the monthly finals.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. And yeah, it creates a lot of opportunity. Obviously, if you're just joining in just as a team to go up against some of these teams that have been invited, that's maybe a little bit of a higher caliber. It does allow you an opportunity to get a bit more comfortable within the scene if you are not a well-established team already. Look at that maps as well. We've got 4 maps ahead of us today, so really exciting things is going to happen. I didn't catch all those maps names exactly, but
Erangel,
I think
Miramar, Sandhawk, Erangel.
the photographic memory. I love it. I love it. That's good. Well, point system wise, as you see in front of you, obviously first place to 10th place is probably where the money is at. You want to try and get to the 8th place point. That's when you start getting that bucks in, start getting that points in. So you want to get into that top 10. Obviously, that winner chicken dinner is going to net you 10 points to the end of the game, and that's going to obviously add a lot. But I mean, time to light. You know these teams. What can we be expecting from these guys?
So the teams that I've seen before, I'll go through them first. Aegon X I8, or Aegon as we've been calling them for most of this event. They were a team that were just on the precipice of taking it. NIGMA Galaxy are a team I've seen in and out. They have not qualified to playoffs, surprisingly enough. They've been very close on multiple monthly finals. I'm looking for them to perform well. RTG Esports, a team that had opportunities down the line, but didn't end up making it. Conqueror, Iraq, and ONYX Ravens, similar conversation for them. But the 3 teams I'm really looking for here, Clear Vision, Triple Esports, and the World of Battle, or TWOB, and for different reasons. Clear Vision and Triple Esports were 2 teams that had so many opportunities the last time we had an invitational qualifier and just did not make it. They basically had a disappointing finish, and I think they would agree with that estimate. The World of Battle, however, they were in the other conversation. They had a poor start. They were so close at the end of it. And if they played a little bit better to start the event rather than finish the event, they probably would have qualified, but they didn't. That has to change here in the last invitational opportunity for all of these teams.
I mean, essentially, to boil it down, what you're saying is that we have 5 teams that are in the spotlight right now. I know NIGMA Galaxy, just purely from Dota. I know they've got a Dota team that do really well. They even have some sponsorship with a few airliners as well. Pretty insane to see them that they've got a mobile PUBG Mobile team as well. Aegon Esports, we were crossing the other day. I saw them absolutely dominate the bracket. But essentially, Aegon, NIGMA, Clear Vision, Triple Esports, and the World of Battle are the 5 teams that you'd say are going to be on our radar for today.
And for different reasons. The World of Battle has a very reasonable shot at making it if they do well early. I think they can finish off well. There are teams that can do well early, like NIGMA Galaxy, who are atrocious at trying to do well at the end of the day. We've seen NIGMA Galaxy mostly in monthly finals. I saw NIGMA Galaxy win a game with 12 kills to start off the event in a best of 4, and they didn't qualify in the top 5. So you're looking at a team and saying there are so many opportunities for this team to finish off well, and yet they place outside the top 8 in the next 2 or 3 games. They can't find multiple kills a game. They just don't follow up on their early prowess. There's also the conversation of what the cutoff is going to be in terms of points. From my personal experience with 4-map games in this format, the general cutoff for the top 8 teams, it's not top 8, it's not top 5, it's top 8 since it is
Yeah.
invitational qualifier. The general cutoff will probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of 25, 26 points. That's your bare minimum to make top 8. And there's nothing better to finish first than there is to 8th, except for the money in this conversation. That conversation then gets to the monthly finals in a couple weeks' time.
But that makes it all so exciting because even though we have these teams that we're looking at today, hoping that teams like NIGMA Galaxy is going to prove us wrong and actually come up today and give us a little bit of a different play, there are still 16 teams here. We still have 11 other teams still competing for exactly the same thing, hoping that this is their time to shine today, hoping that they can be the underdogs with the story. And that's what makes this exciting because any of these teams, in like Team Tough, maybe R9, could drop onto any of the drops for 2 games in a row and knock out Aegon. They could knock out Clear Vision, TRIPLR Esports, any of the 5 that we mentioned before. And that could put a deficit on their points and possibly putting them in a worse spot and making a little bit more excitement. And that's what I'm here for. This is the excitement that I'm always keen for, is seeing a little bit of an underdog. And we actually, funny enough, a couple of weeks ago, we saw exactly the same thing happen. 2 games in, a team dominated the roster. They were doing so well, at least 15 elims per game, and then just got dropped on for the rest for those other 3 games and dropped down to, I think they've got 8th. So always makes for some really good entertainment.
Yeah, there's always the conversation of you never know what's going to happen. There's no guarantee that one game's results will set you up for later results down the line. And that's the concern as well. Oh, we can play very well to start things off, and then a team overheats, they get overconfident, they drop with someone else, they die immediately, and they've gone 2 games. They've picked up 24 points in the first game, but they've picked up 0 in game 2, and they've averaged 12 points a game, which is still a good number. If you average 12 points a game for the entirety of the event, you're qualifying every day of the week. But it's just not going to be enough if you can't keep that same level of consistency around the 84 points that you would love to have over, 4 wins with, what is it, 11 kills a game, if I'm doing my math correctly? Yeah, that would give you 84
I'm bad
points.
at math.
I'm good at math. We'll get down the line. That when we get to the final game, I'll basically be giving you live updates as to who's qualified or not.
You know what? I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. It makes it a bit easier, but obviously, just to go back to the game, there's so much on the line for today. And I don't want to say that cliche thing about, oh, this is so important today. It's gonna be today. Whoever wins is gonna. That's obviously a given. I'm just excited to see what this team is going to bring to the table. Obviously, for those of you viewers who are tuning in today for the first time watching, this is mobile. This is PUBG Mobile. And I'd like
the
saying
better
stuff like
PUBG.
this. Yeah, the better PUBG. Yeah, and it's honestly, I think the most exciting part is just to see the skill at which rate these players play on their mobile devices. It astonishes me every single time I watch. I can't even flick like that on a mouse and keyboard, let alone on a phone or tablet.
Yeah.
So
Same.
exciting things. But yeah, we have a good roster going up forward. We've seen the 16 teams, we've seen the points, we've seen the maps. All we have to wait now is just to see the first game. Obviously, we're going to jump into a second and see what it can bring. And I just realized I'm saying see quite a lot, but we have a lot of cool things coming up. Now, time to light.
Mm-hmm.
You said early on you've casted most of the PUBG Mobile games so far. What do you think was one of them that stood out for you the most?
I think the most recognizable one, and this may be recency bias, is the last one we had. It was, I believe, November 24th. I actually just looked over at my schedule. Friday, November 24th. So if you want to go back in the YouTube feed and live feeds of Arena Esports, go back, find whichever one that was. Because it was a monthly final. I was with Llama the last time. And the most surprising notion was, even in such small and concise types of gameplay, no team was safe because of circumstances not in all that much of their own control. The scenario I fully remember was Erangel last map, and for some reason, about 9 teams ended up in those 2 little blue warehouses just north of the channel above the military base. And somehow only 1 team came out alive, and it was only the second team that arrived. I think it was 5 or 6 teams that ended up there. But Team 1 and Team 2 end up fighting, and then Team 2 wins a follow-up fight, wins a 3rd fight, and wins a 4th fight. and somehow finds, I think, 16 kills or somewhere in that neighborhood of kills and places second place and ends up qualifying at the end of the day. They had no business
That,
doing so. They shouldn't
that's
have
mad.
anything to do with that scenario. However, it worked for them. We also are getting word that Erangel is just around the corner as our first map of play, so keep an eye out for things. My concern for some of these teams is where are they going to go? And the answer, there's like 3 or 4 teams all going to the Sosnovka military base. I am a fan already.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I see most of the lobbies already dropped down onto this one little bit of an island. I see a lot of people moving up to a little bit more north as well, to the coastline. But tell me, why is this your favorite?
Mainly bridge camping, because 90% of the time you will not see a Sosnovka military base, at least zone finish. So you're already seeing, I see 3 separate teams down here on the south side of the map. So those 3 separate teams will have to exit that bottom side via one of the 2 bridges and or via a boat. We don't really see teams pick up boats though, and well, you can get caught out because of it. Aegon, actually one of those teams that we've seen in prior events, also go to Sosnovka, so something to keep in mind for later. The other notable thing is I see 16 teams remaining and 63 players. So one of our 16 teams spawned in with 1 missing player. Something to keep in mind down the line.
Oh, that's quite a shame. Connectivity issues do happen. It's not a surprise that that's something that does happen with some of these players. But like, we're gonna jump straight into action. We are watching one of the teams clear vision or in a building right now, looking for I don't know who exactly they're fighting. Are they fighting another team? It looks like they are, but I don't
Yes,
see
they
anything
are.
on the map. Yeah, they are opposite the road. I see.
Yeah. If I'm reading names correctly, that could be NIGMA Galaxy. The weird nameplates / logos are catching me off, but there's already low HP for 2 of them. And it seems like they want to try and just walk down the stairs, but they don't want to over-aggress in this conversation, and you really can't blame them for it. Early game, you can't afford to go down, and vision is there, but nobody getting over-aggressive. This is Triple Esports. That's the team.
Yeah, I can't even see that logo. I don't know. For me, it looked like a Enigma Galaxy logo, honestly, that purple blue. But yeah, cool. Well, I mean, I completely agree with you. Like, this is difficult. You don't want to get knocked, literally, as you drop. So all they're doing now is one team's at the top floor, other team is the tenants at the bottom floor, and they're not really mixing. They're just kind of respecting. But shot through the window though. They do grab one, and they didn't really check that side, and that's going to give them opportunity to push up forward into the building and possibly get more.
And at this point, you can't afford to stick around. Ghost being caught out, flashed off the angle, both players swinging. Even if that first shot didn't land, the second one would have. A sausage being used. The SASG will find that kill. 2-piece already picked up here for Triple Esports. And ironically enough, 2 of the teams I said to look out for land at basically the exact same spot. And 2 of the players for one of those teams, Clear Vision, already dispatched of. So down to 2 members within, 4 or 5 minutes? And we've lost 4 people across the board. 2 of them from Clear, 2 of them from a different team that I cannot seem to know.
I mean, yeah. It's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult seeing with the HUD sometimes just exactly what teams. It's a little bit blurry for us to see what logos, but we will try our best to try and figure out who is in and out. Obviously, for me, in the beginning, it's always a bit of a cluster. What's going on as soon as the refinement comes and these teams start establishing themselves a bit more. But with PUBG Mobile, right? Let's just imagine that I don't know anything that I'm talking about, and I'm a viewer right now tuning for the first time. We see that Clear Vision's just dropped 2 of their players. Can those players get brought back in?
No.
Can they get raised? They out.
No, the current PUBG will allow you to res some teammates. However, PUBG Mobile and in competitive play, I do not believe has added any fun additions to the similarity of the reboot van to Fortnite for anybody who's familiar, or picking up your teammates' quote-unquote card. There is a blue card you can pick up in traditional PUBG that you can go to some station that I don't know the name of because I don't res my teammates because I play solos. But you're hoping that you can teammates. I'm actually hoping that there's an addition to that because it adds like a nice little layer to PUBG. But as of right now, no.
No, fair enough. We saw we were casting some other mobile battle royale the other day, and most of what happened was purely teams just getting res 24/7. The zone, even though we got to like the 3rd last zone, there was still about 12, 13 teams on the map, because every time someone get knocked, there was still one person left over, and they would go run to a beacon or a spot and just raise his entire team back again. Which, I mean, it's a nice mechanic, but I think in competitive sense, it does hinder the game a bit, because
Yeah.
you're getting points, but the game's not really progressing because there's too many people on the map. But I mean,
I like it only when it comes to the later games, because then you could say, oh yeah, well these teams only have, we'll say hypothetically there's 12 people remaining and one of them is a team of 4, and that team of 4 needs 15 kills. If they find a couple kills, allow them to res, and they find a
Fair
couple
enough.
kills again, maybe you give yourself more of an opportunity to qualify. It adds an extra layer to things.
Okay, so it adds an opportunity to exploit people's
Oh,
ability to res.
By the way, we have found the other 2 players that have died, at least 2 of the other 3 now, as another one has fallen. It was Team Tough, who was also down to 2 members, as R9 is trying to look for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This one's surprising. Doesn't seem like anything's gonna happen. They take pot shots
No,
and just back away.
That's just run away. Just run away. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, you set it up really lovely. I give it to you. You know, time to like that was good. You were like, something's gonna happen, and then he shot
and
the
then
car,
nothing happened.
and then he got in the car, and then he drove away. You know, you'd think that killing someone would give you points, but I think placement's probably the strategy that we're looking at right now.
NIGMA Galaxy, by the way, upon some further research, also played in the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Last Chance Qualifier. We've been keeping an eye on a couple teams that were in the Last Chance Qualifier and the survival stage of that back during the monthly finals. NIGMA Galaxy ended up placing 13th at the Last Chance Qualifier, and overall that would net them somewhere in the neighborhood, I think 29th overall, or something along those lines. They were hoping for something a little bit better, the Global Championships, but the fact that they haven't qualified to playoffs of an Arena Esports event, but they have qualified to the Last Chance Qualifier of the largest event for PUBG Mobile in the world in the calendar year, is kinda ironic and absurdly funny. Also, Tough is down to 3 players now, as Riddler has just been downed and now finished off. The team itself still has 1 member, but they're down to just the singular member, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the nature of PUBG, though, is that it's such big maps, and the zone comes in, and it takes a while for these teams to go getting pushed together so that we can actually see more action. And there goes the first team. Tough is actually going to get taken out, so now it puts us down to 15 teams. And that's tough. That is a tough one.
Ah, you're funny. He's a funny man.
Yeah, it was laid out in front of me. I couldn't avoid it. You know, I have to admit that.
That was a layup. Yeah, you're right. it would be an insult for you not to take the joke. I gotta say.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I would have done it myself.
I wouldn't have judged you. You know, I wouldn't have said you're funny. I said, oh, that was smart. You know, that was very intellectual thought that you just had there.
Apparently, Vito and Clear Vision, VanKid the other, have not avoided Triple Esports just yet. VanKid just watched 3 or 4 members walk by him. Nice spray, finds one with the ACOG, looking for a second will do damage, but nothing more. And the DBS now stepping in, it becomes a true 2v2, and from distance it becomes more difficult. The DBS only doing damage at the end of the day, and only finishing off 1 member of Triple Esports, who find the second full squad wipe as Clear Vision exits stage left in 15th place.
Exit stage left. That's a big one, eh? I hate that shotgun with a passion. Every time I see that thing, it's horrible. It's so bad. But look at, okay. Man almost knocked him through car. This is turning out to be quite the game. It's a slow game, but I really feel the weight of this game. We're only on the first map so far, still having to go 4, and a big fight's also breaking out now with a lot of burning cars.
Oh, I like it.
But not a lot of action.
No, ONYX Raven's finding 3 separate kills. They'll also finish off a couple of them. And that's basically a 1v4 now created. They do still have to find 1 res, but as of right now, they're perfectly safe to play, honestly, as they please. And it's becoming more of a challenge, to say the very least. Is CRYPTICS falling, losing 3 of their 4 members, and having a pseudo 1v4 as it stands? I don't even think that Carry Boy has a car. They have just thrown a nade, but they've been seen and put down to about 1 HP. They'd be very lucky to make it out of this one alive. I don't think I like their chances all that much. However, now Aegon getting in a fight, and this one, I believe with R9, it is with R9 Esports.
they did get dropped 1. Still have to get that res up. We're going to switch back again and see if ONYX maybe can clear this one up. But they do have a res opportunity. Yeah, they did. Okay, cool. They got the opportunity. You know what's the biggest thing I wonder about when I watch these games is when you play on the phone. Anyone that has a phone has played games on the phone, right? So does your fingers not get sweaty? I got games on my phone. You got games on your phone?
I do have games on my phone.
Okay. What games do you have?
Solitaire. Solitaire is my favorite game to play on my phone. 'Cause
I like
fly-
Minesweeper.
Okay, that's fair. I honestly wish I was so much better at Minesweeper, but I just can't think like that.
Multi-dimensionally, that's what it feels like, even though it's a 2D game.
Yep, my brain just doesn't work.
Well, my question is, does your hands not get sweaty on like playing like this? Because
No,
after a while,
believe it or
I've
not.
played COD Mobile, and then I can't flick anymore because the screen just gets a little bit sweaty with my hands.
But believe it or not, my hands don't get sweaty when I play mobile games. It's when I play controller games or on my PC, my mouse gets sweaty. Because I don't have any breathable air between my palm and the mouse, or the palm and my controller, the way I hold it. It's just like, I gotta keep like sanitary wipes when I play.
But you need to get one of those. You need to get a mouse that's the weight's been cut out the plastic back on the palm.
Oh, I know exactly, like the final mouse.
Yeah. Yes,
I know you're talking about.
I think Logitech's. I've got a glorious one myself, glorious Model D,
Okay.
and it's fun. I've got sweaty hands in it. It's lovely. But I mean, the point still stands though. Like these players are playing at a high level, and I mean, surely, just like having a bad back from sitting in a chair playing, or like your headphones, or what I mean, they wear headphones. I'm trying to say is that sweaty hands must affect them in some way, or do they use some hardware that they connect to their phone, or is that illegal?
No, it's illegal. You cannot play with that. You have to play on the mobile phone. But the fact that their mobile phones are basically similar to the tablets that we use. So they have massive phones. It's not technically considered a tablet, but it's basically a tablet. Also, in the meantime, while we've been sitting around with Aegon trying to fight R9, we have lost yet another team. It's IKURD, who has also left early. No kill points from what I saw in the kill feed earlier, and they've exited in 13th place, so no placement points either, unfortunately for them. As of right now, it seems like Triple getting into another fight as well. They've already picked up 4 kills on the clear vision, and they've now seen Team S2G from distance, it seems. However, nobody shooting one another, at least not directly from farm and distance. But it was RTG Esports who was taking that fight from a distance with Triple. And finally, R9 has lost a player. Took him forever.
Yeah, that's it's interesting. 12 teams in. We've already lost 4. I'm not so surprised with IKURD Esports. I was really hoping to see them perform at a higher level today. A couple of weeks ago when we were crossing I think it was another invitational qualifier. They also just did not get top 10. It's quite unfortunate. I'd love to see teams kind of break that echelon and get into that top 10s a bit more. But it still makes for a pretty good amount of entertainment. So game's pretty slow though. Time to light. These teams are not really keen on pushing each other too much. Almost feels like there's a lot on the line.
It's a little bit. It's nothing too important. Just like, the last invitational qualifier of what was a 4 qualifier event. Technically 8 if you count the open qualifiers, or 9 if you count the last chance qualifier. So there's a lot of opportunities, and they're starting to run out. We are so far from this member, by the way, that we couldn't originally see their overlay. That's how far that shot was coming, and it wasn't actually landing. There are also a few teams with 12 members remaining. We'd have 48 people alive if everybody had all 4 members. We're down to 43, so there are at least 5 teams with 1 missing player, or a couple with 2, if that is the case. Don't peek trying to take a fight on Aegon, still with R9, who I believe still has all 4 of their members, if not just 3 from their down member earlier. And this has been just a game of chicken with Aegon and R9.
Cat and mouse.
This has been going on for like 10 minutes at this point. Why don't you just go somewhere else at this point? Because the zone's starting to close. Not on you directly, but it will the next time it starts. And honestly, I'm getting bored of this fight.
I do appreciate it though, because this is real fighting. You got a gun, you got a scope on your gun, you got a trigger, you shoot. Right? It's simple. The gun's got velocity, it's got drop to it. You know, you have to be a bit more creative. At least we're not seeing anyone building the next Tower of Pisa over these buildings towards the other one to try and get an upper hand. You know, I'm just saying,
So true.
it's a bit more realistic, right? We're not seeing the action, but it just puts a bit more emphasis on the skill that these players have. And you were mentioning earlier, like, they're so far away that we can't even see the outline of these players. And we are on massive screens. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not even playing on a mobile screen there. Seeing everything. A look at our map for the time being. Everybody's staying a nice social distance away from one another. RTG a little bit too close to Aegon, towards the south side of your map, west side of Milta, if you can see that. R9 on the north side of Milta, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia just around that same general area near Shelter as well. They're spread out a little bit more than any other team is. And the one team I'm really surprised about sticking around as of right now are the Knights. They're on the far west side. They're basically keeping to themselves, the nice little shut-ins that they are, and it's working for them. They don't have to take any fights. The problem is, there's still 12 members remaining, and we're starting Zone 4 as it stands, and they still don't have the kill totals that they're looking for. As time is continually dwindling away, these fights will be forced. I vote we'll probably lose 4 teams by the time this next circle closes.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Definitely, I completely agree with that.
Nice
but
shot.
a good amount of shots. Damn. I think, you know what? I think, how about next time we cast PUBG Mobile, we cast it from our mobiles. Brilliant idea.
I despise that idea, and I will never do it.
Brilliant idea. You know, just to be a part of these players. You know, to have camaraderie around the skill that they have. That we as casters can show that we support them in playing on mobiles.
I can support them from my 1440p monitor.
And we can use our mobiles mics as well, so that we can cast from there.
I feel
that sounds
like
a
the broadcaster is
idea
at that point.
I think that would make for some good entertainment, you know?
World of Battle now on with Triple Esports, and nice shots from Triple. This is Enad trying to take on Mad Lol, ironically enough, and yet neither of them dying immediately. Gaddafi on for 1, finds damage and the down as Tiger would be dispatched of, and just like that, again, Triple Esports in an engagement end up walking away on the better side of it. Not with immediate kills, but still with a good start. And I was talking about Aegon falling. It's surprisingly not to R9, it's to NIGMA Galaxy, as they will exit in 12th place.
Oh, that's rough. And we were hoping that they might bring something different to the table. This is still the first map, so it could be a bit of a warm-up for them. Even though that was a bit of a stomp. But it's rough for them to go out like that. Triple Esports is doing really well, though. It was mentioning before as well. We have our eyes on them. 6 eliminations in. Really good. Possibly an opportunity for them to get into the top 5. They've got a lot of opportunity here.
I gotta say, I'm a little surprised that Enigma Galaxy got into that fight. I think they were even further west than RTG was. And now R9 has gone elsewhere. We may have shelter battles here. And I gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen it in a game of PUBG Mobile. Shelter battles on the east side of the map. Triple, again in this fight, they're still on with the world. And it is a hurt for Triple as they lose yet another member. They are still downed, not dead just yet. And things are looking better overall for the World of Battle.
No, it is looking really good for them though. They don't have the elims though. They don't have the elims, but they're banking on getting a good placement in this game. Playing the slow game a bit more. The zone's going to start pushing up a bit further up forward, and the only cover that they could really play with. Oh my word! It is a drive-by. It's a drive over. That guy's face is stuck to the what?
They're all dead. Triple Esports is dead.
There's no way man tried to go prone and see if Carl can drive over a man without dying.
No, so the reason he did it, he's thinking, oh yeah, I've seen people prone under tracks on a train, and the train's going over them. I'm gonna work with a buggy, and it's definitely the same thing. That's got to be the thought process. That's a feels bad man moment for Triple Esports. They have picked up a bare few amount of kill points, so there is a saving grace for them. It's not the end of the world, but they still exit in 11th place, and would have been so much better, but it ended so much worse.
Yeah, that we were just glorifying them, saying that they're doing really well so far. 6 elims, great time. They've got their shades out, sunscreens on. They're playing the game the way that they want to play it, and then they just get run over by a car. And Yeah, that's not the way that you really want to go out. But
No.
as we said, no, we're now in the top 10. 2 more placements away till we start getting that juicy points, and the fight's going to break out here with TWOB, and they're trying to find that play. But the knock's going to come out, though, on the opposite side. They do get one at PI8, and that's going to be good for them. But the shotgun's going to be flying out, and wow, that's just peek around the corner like they just on fire, sliding on ice, and they'll be able to pick up 1 kill there. And that is going to be a lot of 3 teams knocked out within 30 seconds of us mentioning that we're in the top 10.
Yeah, I said 4 teams would be lost by the time we started stage 5. It has gone up to 5 about midway through it closing. And we've lost a fair few amount of these teams. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is gone. That's not the greatest of finishes for them because they only picked up, if I saw correctly, kill points at best. S2G was able to finish them off. Even further develop, there are still teams that have yet to rotate into the zone itself. R9 is not safe. They'll have to go through RTG. And it doesn't look like Knights are safe either, as they'll have to rotate in as well. This is becoming more of a problem than it's solved. NIGMA Galaxy, yeah, they're chilling. They're in a great spot, actually.
Yeah, no, they are. It's just the zone closure right now is giving me a lot of weird vibes. There's only a little bit of trees. You're gonna have to try and peek left and right, but oh my word, NIGMA Galaxy trying to get those shots behind that. Are we gonna see a drive-by again? Are we gonna? Are those people? Oh, the people are dead. They're dead already, aren't they?
Yeah. But R9 isn't safe, though. I like this rotation from NIGMA Galaxy. They're getting behind a team that is just rotated, basically giving them a false sense of security. Oh, we've just come from that position. This is usually happening in tactical first-person shooters like Rainbow Six, Counter-Strike, Valorant, where you go to a position that a team previously held and they think it's safe. But that's not the case here. NIGMA Galaxy also behind RTG, who may not think this is safe, and as a hail of fire comes in from above, it is just nades from everywhere. If orders were in this game, this is what it would look like.
Kobe?
1 lands.
Oh, great.
And RTG, they're down to 1 member. I don't even know if they can get that res off.
This is 3 teams already. This is time to light. I literally just turned around, turned back. We've just dropped 4 teams, and it seems that NIGMA Galaxy, they're in the Bugatti.
And S2G is also picking up a fair few amount of kills. If I'm doing my math, correct me if I am wrong. It is 9 kills for NIGMA Galaxy, and we're up to 5 as it stands for S2G. A win here for NIGMA Galaxy would presume the final 4 kills. You're looking at 13 kill points and 10 placement points. A first game. I'm getting some very, very bad deja vu the last time I saw NIGMA Galaxy. And a nade, that ends the very long life of Bisque, but a rotation from NIGMA Galaxy, they're going action already. A full rotation, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, no, they are trying to just get behind them, trying to set this one up for them. An opportunity to maybe get some information, but the rocks are going to be in the way. Time to light. What's going to happen right now?
Lord finds 1, looking for a second close range. He'll actually find it. Hip firing with a 13, and it becomes, as I can see, a 2 versus 1. No, a 2v2, as both members are prone on the ground. S2G has lost the 2 members on their high ground, but they have found it down on NIGMA Galaxy, making it a somewhat attemptable fight. The issue is, this rotation is looking so much better for NIGMA Galaxy because they hold 2 very contrasting positions. Not only are they on the road, preventing the rotation from S2G, but they're up above, not allowing them to stay safe where they currently are. This is so much better for NIGMA Galaxy, despite the fact that they're starting this fight with 1 less member.
A nice little aerial view as well, and this could be a big one. S2G grabs 1 knock for them, and this could spell devastating news for S2G as they have this last man standing, Ray Z, the man, the myth. Kobe opportunity going to fly through as they're trying to set up. Now they've got the smoke down, they've got the rock behind, they're going to try and get the thirst. That's going to be it. 1v1 with the package landing down, and we might have a bit more.
I think Coops has a better position. Package, this is perfect for him. Not only does he have basically safe haven in terms of extra environmental coverage, but he also has a free way of moving around. For some reason goes to the tree. Didn't have to do that. Now guarantees his position and loses some HP for it. He'll heal and just patiently wait. But the problem is he does not have the positional advantage anymore. The benefit, all 3 of those kills for S2G have gone down. They've been finished. The kill points have been given over to NIGMA Galaxy. So regardless, this will be a true 1v1. Both players doing about equal damage and thinking to themselves, well, I gotta heal at this point. But one behind a rock, significantly more coverage. The other behind a tree, and less variability in his his favor. But Coops seems to be safely playing this one, isn't too concerned, not perturbed by any means, and could be baited out with a PP Bison. Wants to swing this, but has the lesser primary weaponry. The M4 versus the PP Bison, the higher fire rate of the PP. It ends up working, and he wants to swing it. He'll go hip fire. He will go to win. NIGMA Galaxy, winner, winner, chicken dinner in game number 1. A 23-point Erangel.
Absolute homing missile that man was. Coming around that tree, not really being disturbed by this pressure that was being applied to him, and just comes up victorious, peeking around every now and then. And this is what I was saying, on a mobile device like that, being able to just to constantly peek left, right, to get those final shots in, tick away at the health. And first map's going to go to NIGMA Galaxy. Interesting turn of events. Quite interesting indeed. What do you make of this, Time to Light?
I'm going to say it's a great start. However, I'm still concerned down the line. I'm less concerned because this is an invitational qualifier. They've had less problems in invitational qualifiers. Top 8 is not unreasonable. And I said in a 4-game series, you're probably looking at 25, 26, 27 points, if not a little bit less than that to qualify. They've already hit 23. We'll get the scoreboard and the exact numbers for the rest of the teams in this one down the line, but it's also an extremely good game from S2G. We saw them take a couple fights from distance. They took on Triple Esports and ended up finishing off them. If I saw it correctly, they also finished off KSA. So 5 kills for the team going into that fight. They picked up another 3, so you're looking at 8 plus the 6 placement points. A 14-point first game for S2G, also extremely good. They can be happy with the finish, even though they may be disappointed that they lost those extra 5 points.
Yeah, they can definitely be happy with this finish. I mean, S2G came out of nowhere. Wasn't even on our radar. I have to say, though, like the logo, very nice, like the purple with the gold. But logos don't win you games. And in this instance, it seems to be like S2G was the team that played their positioning perfectly and got to that point in game where they were able to push NIGMA. Even got a few thirsts there on the hill. But evidently, like you mentioned, NIGMA just had the better positioning.
Yeah, S2G plays the most common way of playing PUBG Mobile that I've seen in somewhat recent history. It is somewhat aggressive nature while also keeping better position and not putting yourself out of that position to try and pick up kills. They did pick up a couple kills when they were given to them. They had good angles from the houses they currently occupied. They didn't put themselves out of position to pick those up. And we'll see in these highlights, at least in the later stages, they took advantage of that, placed second at the end of the day, even though they only picked up 5 kills to do it. Well, technically 8 at the end of it, but still 5 kills to make it into the top 2. Ended up working for them. A couple of these fights, by the way, Triple Esports, that's a team I want to see their kill totals. If I see it correctly, it's 6 while finishing in 11th. So they'll get 6 points, but they could have had more placement.
They could have definitely. I mean, no one likes their voice breaking while you're trying to talk, as well as no one likes being run over by a car. It's things like that. It's just a bit embarrassing when you get to this stage. And it could have been avoided, but obviously I don't think the way of trying to duck underneath it. But this is the main one. The last little bit of fight. Just Coops playing that tree so well, man. It just really helped him get that win.
Coops also got a little lucky with the zone. So the zone pulled a little bit closer to him, forcing the play from the rock. The reason that I was looking at it and saying, why are they already swinging? Well, the zone was coming in about 20, 30, 40 seconds. So they would have had to take the fight anyway. They realized they were running out of heals, and it was an inevitability that the fight was going to happen. Maybe the less than ideal scenario that you had to do it in that way. I wouldn't have hated hopping in a car and trying to drive away, depending on how good Coops is. But one thing I've noticed, interestingly enough, people are better at shooting cars in PUBG Mobile than they are in regular PUBG, and it's kind of scary. And I don't know how I feel about it. Because,
really?
Yeah, it's scary. I've seen people do it from like 150 meters, just casually hit 3 shots with an SKS and be like, yeah, you were going to live, but not in the car.
No, that's insane. Is there aim assist? Oh, as I was about to say, there's a little bit of aim assist in mobile, isn't there?
Yeah,
slightly.
Ironically enough, it's a little bit less useful than on a controller, but overall, it is more functional than on a controller. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks weird and works.
So it's cheating.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. No, I just wanted to clarify that, because that's basically what if you got assist that can actually give you that little bit of extra help, that's not really, that's cheating. That is, takes the credibility away from mobile. But I'm not going to take it away from them just yet. It's still a very skillful way that they are playing, even with assistance. There's no doubt about that. But a really good game so far. I'm not going to say anything about where these teams are at the moment. We're going to see the scoreboard in a minute. And I'm also not going to say how excited I am for S2G to win this or NIGMA because first game, obviously, we've spoken about it in detail. Anything can happen. We
Yeah,
can hype out
especially
NIGMA right now and they can drop out early.
Yeah, especially with the 8 teams. Keep an eye on some of these teams early. 23 points for Enigma Galaxy. Knights actually placed higher. They finished with 12 points in terms of elimination and 14 placement points, netting them an overall 4th. I don't know where the heck they picked 12 kills up from, but hey, they'll take it. ONYX Ravens were in the same conversation where they had early gunfights that ended up going their way. 2 full team eliminations later, and they have 10 points total with a couple placement points. RTG Esports, one of those teams I said to look out for. They don't do the greatest, but they will still pick up 5 at the end of the day. R9, another team that could have had more, and Triple Esports, there's that team, 6 kill points, 0 placement points. Similar for the World of Battle. I didn't even know they picked up 5. So overall, could have been worse for some of these squads, but this is only one game. By no means are they out of the woods just yet.
No, but definitely not. But it's a good start, though. A good start. They got them on a points. Unfortunately, there's going to be some teams that got nothing. Dropped in. Team Tough was, I'm not going to say it. They had a horrible start to the game, and unfortunately had an early exit as well. Same thing with IKURD, CRYPTICS. Funny, crazy thing though, Aegon being taken out also really early. And it was quite unfortunate for them. So I'm excited to see. I want to basically see this scoreboard get flipped completely around.
Well,
just for a bit of excitement. Yeah, definitely. I want to see this page we're looking at right now. I want to see them the other way and the first page back again. Just for a bit of entertainment.
I mean, fair enough. That will probably happen at the end of the day, just because the teams hate us. And we can make all these expectations after games 1 or 2, but I can guarantee you right now, I will say it, and I will say it confidently, Clear Vision are going to qualify. I don't care. They're going to qualify. I'm like 80%, no, I was going to say, I'm 80% sure Clear Vision had 2 kills. They had 2 downs. They didn't have 2 kills. So they did not actually finish off the second player. Feels a little bit bad for them, taking on a team that ended up finishing fairly well in Triple Esports, but that's another team. It's so close yet so far. They avoid that fight. They're looking at a completely different game.
Yeah. That's basically what I can say. From memory as well, you mentioned all the maps. We don't have any maps being played twice today, do we?
Erangel is the only one. It'll be played first and last.
Yeah. Okay, good. Interesting. Well, that's going to bring us back around for some more excitement. Yeah. I mean, we can go on and on about this till our ears bleed and our viewers. But I want to also just say to the viewers watching right now, you guys are looking at the scoreboard and obviously the excitement around everything. We want to send a massive shout out to you as well for watching this, the skill that's being shown today. I know that you guys are enjoying this just as much as we are. If I'm not cracking jokes, I'm enjoying it, and I think that everything's in a bit of satire, and these games have been phenomenal. So absolutely big ups to you, the viewer that's watching right now. Please sub and follow, just so you can stay up to date. No, not because you're viewers. Literally, if you stay up to date, you can see this action every single time it comes live. I think that's a good deal.
Yeah, the other thing, or the other set of people we want to thank are the people on the left side of your screen. Yes, I got that right, is the left side of your screen. We are Arena Esports, powered by Etislap by EN. And the people who allow us to do this are not only our strategic partner of AD Gaming, but our broadcast partner of Platonia. They're called our broadcast partner for a reason. They're the reason that we can bring these events in multiple languages to you. If you're watching in English and saying, English isn't particularly my first language, luckily for you, we're running the stream in 2 other languages. Our production can correct me if I'm wrong, but Urdu is also being run alongside Arabic as well. Also on the same YouTube channel that you're currently watching, and Arabic is on Twitch as well. So if you'd like to watch in any of those 3 languages, including English, and you want to stick around here, you're more than welcome to do so. If you want to keep multiple languages up at the same time and figure out how to speak multiple, I have no idea how to speak Arabic, so I'd love to do that, but I can't. I also don't understand the alphabet, so good luck with that one.
Wait, you're asking them to try? Yeah, you're asking them to try and just listen to another language in hopes that they try to figure it out. That is, if someone could do that, I want to know who they are.
There are people that will watch TV in a different language, sometimes with the subtitles on and or like auto-translated to a different language, and they will learn the language that way. I have a friend who learned how to speak Spanish by watching Argentinian soap operas, and he now has an Argentinian accent when he speaks Spanish. I'm not
Oh
kidding.
no. Oh, that is wild. That is the
Yeah,
craziest thing I've ever heard.
he.
You know, oh, wow.
It is very funny because I friends with a few Hispanic people. Two of them from Spain, and one of them is from Mexico, and they're all trying to figure out where the heck the accent's from, because it is a broken Spanish Argentinian accent, but with American English sprinkled in there a little bit. And some people will just learn languages watching different language broadcasts. And with events like this, or events like the PUBG Mobile Global Championships or campus championships that are currently going on right now, there's a lot of options for people to watch really whatever, and in multiple languages when major events come
True.
around.
True. No, I quite like that as well. I think more broadcasting companies should need to do that often, where you have multiple languages being brought. I mean, it literally just opens it up for a
Yeah.
larger audience, doesn't it? I mean, not everyone speaks English. It's more of a comfortability thing, and it obviously, I think, for this event, it also allows more of the Western audience to enjoy this
Yeah.
for what it is. We've got massive teams like I said, NIGMA Galaxy is an organization that's got teams across different types of genres and games. So it's awesome to see that being casted like that.
Speaking
Yes.
of NIGMA Galaxy, by the way, shout out NIGMA Galaxy's female Counter-Strike team. They just won Impact or ESL Impact Valencia at DreamHack. I was watching it like 2 days ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they played.
Wow.
They either won it or came in second place. Hold up. Don't let me get this wrong. I'm totally opening it up. ESL Impact Season 4 Finals. They placed first place. Yep. They beat the Navi Javelins in the grand finals.
That's
This
insane.
was, Sunday at DreamHack Valencia. So
I do want to add, though. Just because I'm mentioning Nigma the whole time doesn't mean that they are the only tier 1 team. All of these 16 teams competing today are tier 1 teams. They're all extremely professional, extremely good teams. My knowledge is limited only because I cast mainly Dota, or I've cast a lot
Fair.
of Dota, and I quite like the Nigma team there. But it's not biased. I think all these teams are being absolutely fantastic. I do want to see IKURD get a few more points, though. Out of all the
Yeah.
teams, I want to see IKURD getting a bit more.
I was also looking in terms of teams that could improve based on their first game play was CONQUEROR Iraq.
Okay.
If I saw that correctly, they finished either 10th or 9th place and only had 1 kill point at the end of the day. I think they were in a full team fight, found 3 downs, and were in a 1v1 and lost it. And because they found the 3 downs, only one of them was finished off. And it was kind of similar to how Clear Vision took that fight with Triple Esports. It was a woulda, coulda, shoulda situation, but nothing they ended up finishing at the end of the day. And they could have taken so many more advantages or kills or even placement points than they did. And it's something that could have been improved, but in the end, unfortunately, was not.
Man, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I can't remember last time I heard that one. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's been absolutely amazing. But I think we've got about 1 to 2 minutes still left before we see the game going into that second game. Can you remember what map that second game was?
Map 2 is Miramar. Map 3 is
Miramar,
Sandhawk,
okay.
And map 4 is our only replicate of the day. It is Erangel a second time.
Erangel again. Okay, so we're gonna go into the next map shortly. Or as the Cornish people in England like to say, directly, which I do not understand. Directly, it's like directly, but it's not directly. Directly is like in like about 20 minutes, not directly.
Did you know that the British have optional vowels?
No.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
You said directly.
Yeah.
There's an I in directly. Optional vowel.
Yes. No, but they spell it DR, like DRA.
DRECKLY, like directly.
DREC. No, it's I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Directly. No, it's just a phrase. I don't know why I'm getting stuck on this, but you got me confused, mate. No, but yeah, no, it's just a phrase. It's just a weird phrase. It's like, for instance, us South Africans, right? We will say, if we say, we'll be there now, right? We'll be there in like the next 10 seconds. If we say, we'll be there now, they will be there in the next 20 minutes to an hour.
What? That's a thing?
Yeah. If you ever meet a South African and they go, "Oh, I'll be there now," then go and have a cup of coffee. Maybe
I'm
have
gonna
some
say
lunch.
that. I'm gonna say that before a call time at some point, just for the entertainment value of them being like, "How the heck does he know that phrase?" And I can't use it with you anymore.
No, you can't.
That's
Next time you do a South African cast, just say, "I'll be there now." And they'll be like, No, we need you on in the next 5 minutes. Not now. I need you there now, you know? Oh, man.
I
But
love languages across the world, especially when it's the same language that is so misconstrued depending on the culture.
yes, definitely.
I love.
Oh my word! You know, I just realized. I just saw a message. We are still actually casting PUBG Mobile. We're just waiting for the next game. But
Wait, we
I feel
are?
like we're doing a podcast. Yeah,
Oh, we got a few minutes. I mean, we've talked about the entirety of Arengol. Might as well talk about the languages that.
Yeah,
are
you have
By
to.
the way, the span of this conversation, if you're just joining us or if you didn't hear it earlier, we were talking about how our current broadcast is in multiple languages. So something to keep in mind. On Twitch.tv, it is Arena Esports. That is in Arabic. On YouTube, we have 3 current live feeds, all running the exact same time. So it's not like you can click on another one and see something that's more fresh than something else. We have Arabic, Urdu, and English all running at the same time. If you didn't currently know, or you've been doing automatic translation in your head, we're currently on the English stream. And yeah, if you didn't know that, honestly, more credit to you, because that's very impressive.
Mate, I feel like that. Wait, you just join multilingual casts and go, this doesn't sound like English. Wait, 30 minutes later, hold on, I'm on the wrong cast. Maybe I go to it's just like that, isn't it? For you, is it?
I totally speak multiple languages and don't
it?
just exclusively speak terrible and broken French that is not conversational like it used to be.
I can't speak French to save my life. I just speak 2 languages. I think being multilingual, I can't say the word. Multilingual is it's a curse, but yet a very big blessing.
What's the other language you speak?
Afrikaans, which is a dialect of Dutch.
Okay. Well, luckily for you, I speak PUBG Mobile. And if I'm timing this right, we're going into PUBG Mobile as Arengol's kicking off. I love doing that correctly.
Oh, my word. If you missed out on that, I would have
2.
fallen off my chair.
Miramar's map 2. I am so proud of myself. And shout out our production for setting me up for that one. That was amazing.
Man, if you missed that, I would have been on my bum, mate, on the floor. Good shout, though. But like you say, Miramar, I love this map because K98. Why not? You know, K98. I love snipers. I like this map. It's all hilly and rocky, and you know, it makes for some fun engagement.
Our producer speaks 5 languages.
Mate, he's flexing, okay? Like I
know 3 of them. He speaks Urdu, Hindi, and English. I don't know the other 2. We'll get to that conversation a little bit later when he tells me and I find a way to weasel it into the broadcast again. Aegon dropping late here. Seems like they'll head over towards Los Leones, if not even further. No, there's no way they go further than that, right?
I don't know. Maybe. Is that a glider with engines on it?
It's only virtual. It's like a nice little cosmetic thing.
Do they also have? I've seen some mobile like arena games that have like cars and stuff falling out the sky.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
you know, mobile always takes it to the extreme, don't they? Like, a normal game is like you're flying out the sky, but we'll make it realistic because you can you'll be on a hang glider or whatever. PUBG Mobile is like, oh, just drive out the hangar with a car. You're just gonna fall with a car, or on a bike. I've seen motorbikes as well in the sky.
Yeah.
Like a glider, I can understand, but a motorbike.
Welcome to mobile games. First player down, by the way, is Clear Vision's Van Kid, courtesy of our second place finishers in last game, S2G. Already a good start from them, and I think we've lost an entire... Okay, I need to check with production here, because I didn't look up at the start. Did we start with 15 teams? Because I don't think we already had an elimination of a full squad. And if so, who's the team missing?
Yeah, we got 3 players that's down, but I think we only started with 59. Interesting. Huh. Well, it might be that. I'll you know what I'll do? I'll go over to Arena Esports YouTube channel, where you can find the action live right now. And I will look at the delay that we have on, and I will give you that information in a little bit.
We have like an 8-minute delay on, or a 5-minute delay on.
Okay, you know what? I just try to plug. Okay, I just
that was very smooth. I'll give it to you.
Okay,
I was thinking the same thing.
I do.
Actually, I have the VOD open on my other screen, so I can check back to make sure that teams actually finished where I said they finished, because I don't like outwardly making things up. Sometimes it happens, but
fair
it
enough.
doesn't happen very often, and that's what matters.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm looking at the chat now. People saying these two casters don't know about NIGMA PUBG.
That was beginning of the show.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
As when we were talking about their last chance qualifier results and how they haven't been able to finish a monthly qualifier.
Well, is that everything that you said? Okay, fair enough.
That was what I said. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. So I don't know anything about NIGMA PUBG, even though I do.
Well, I mean, we know everything we needed to know right now because they got that winner chicken dinner the previous game. So I don't think we need to know anything else.
They are winners. And I think if I'm doing my general estimations properly, they'd only need about another 3 or 4 points. Because our points last game were very centralized. I think 3 or 4 teams above 10 points. The surprising notion there doesn't usually happen. So the fact that everybody in the bottom 8 had a combined, 3 or 4 points at the end of the day, that's much better for the teams at the top.
It is. But it also, I think, it creates a bit of a more of a gap between the lower teams and the higher teams. So it was a bit spread out, but only spread out in the top 10. We had a lot of teams that didn't get any points.
Yeah,
like that's a bit of a shame.
It was funny. Our producer talking about the amount of zeros said, "Lol, so many zeros. It's looking like my brother's mark sheet." Or as we call them, report cards.
Violation, mate. That's a violation.
That's a great one. I think we should get our producer on for one of these at some point for the sole reason that he drops some bangers in our chat that sometimes never see the light of day.
No, you don't. But the production team they don't get the gratification. Or not the gratification. They don't get the praise that they need to, honestly.
Yep.
Because I am shocked at the amount of work that production put in. Talent managers, production, observers, everyone in between. I think it's very easy for anyone watching right now to say, the person that's controlling the camera or doing whatever, or they're not really doing it the way I like it. But has anyone ever actually tried to be an observer in a game? Because I cast Valorant and Dota and then I observe it at the same time. And I can tell you this, right? If you've never done it, you do not understand the difficulty it is to try and follow action in a way that actually makes sense,
In Battle Royales, it's even more difficult because in most games you have like a little map where you can see close range X-ray and you can know who or the general idea of where to go.
Yes.
In a game that is 64 square kilometers, it becomes significantly more difficult with 16 individual teams, 60 players. Yeah, sometimes the observer doesn't catch all the action, but we also have, I think, 3 observers trying to watch 16 different teams, and the fact that we catch as much as we do is a surprising notion. So the sum up of this is appreciate your production, whether you are watching or a part of it. They are working significantly harder than on the surface it may seem.
Big hugs and kisses to production, basically. You guys are amazing. Anyway, so I feel like we're watching a running simulator at the moment.
Yeah, nothing's happening.
No, nothing's happening. You know what? It's our job to keep people entertained. A lot's happening, actually. People are really trying their hardest. I can't think of any. Loot. To try and, yes, they need to get the best guns, right? Position it right. Okay, I've got it. When you're in the zone, right, you need to get that ideal positioning. So all they're doing right now, basically, right, is running from building to building, scouting out where's going to be the best end zone, and then they're going to establish themselves, and then just wait for the other team. Set up a trap, establish, fight, win. Play it slow and steady.
Seems fair enough to me. It seems fairly simple at the end of the day. I say simple like I don't place dead last in most of the games of PUBG I play. It's usually because somebody starts shooting at nothing and try and baits me over because I want to try and take fights, and then as soon as they do, they just start shooting at me and I die. Yeah, it's a mechanical skill issue, not a game knowledge issue.
It's not a good, definitely.
I'm bad, I'm not stupid.
Yeah, no. People shooting in the air, baiting you over, and you actually going to fight them, and then you dying. That's not you being stupid. That's just being mechanically not gifted.
Yeah.
Fair. I completely agree with that one.
And then I do it, and I'm like, oh, I'm the greatest player ever.
True. I baited that guy and then I killed him. Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Okay. I'm gonna try that next time. Actually, just shoot in the air and see if I can actually get anything out of it. But
That's fair.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
by the way, our delay is caught up. We did start with 15 teams and 59 members. So whichever team had 3 players at the beginning of the last game is still here. But one of the teams that had 4 players either disconnected, didn't show up, or a combination of the two. Because we started this game with 15 teams, and we've only lost 2 players in the process. So we cannot understate how little has happened. We've gone 10 full minutes of game 1, or 9 minutes and 20 seconds since that circle originally formed and everybody dropped. And we've had 2 kills, and one of them was a knife somehow. I'm not kidding. It was a knife. The first kill, by the way, was, again, S2G finding clear, or from clear vision, it was Van Kid. I don't know if that was a finished kill, but I know it was a down from earlier. Yeah, he was actually finished. So clear Van Kid and clear vision are down to 3. The other kill was Road to Glory, losing Groza. So RTG Esports is down to 3 as well. We have 3 separate teams on 3 members, and we started today, or at least this second game, with 1 less team than is usual.
Oh, so many numbers. But the point is that we down a little bit. But well, actually, it's actually gonna break S2G.
Oh, actually dies? Does Kaus get finished there though? That's the question. Because if they are safe, they should be able to be retrieved. You can see their team is sprinting over to them.
Yeah,
but
if you're running around with
Knights,
a hole in your back, you're gonna die.
I don't. They should be safe.
What is that backpack? That's like a big heart, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. No, he's not safe. Knights will finish the kill.
Oh, they're gonna shoot for it.
And I think RTG's running for the hills. Or S2G, sorry. Yeah, so that's another team on just 3 members. And S2G, they have an opening kill, but they also have an opening death.
Yeah. A little bit of action might break out, yeah?
This is with Aegon, surprisingly enough. S2G has lost another member, but Aegon's now in this conversation. Knights are looking for more finishes if they can find them. Silas has been dusted down, so S2G is down to 2. And they're still looking for more at this point, with Salem being headshot. Nice shot, by the way, with an AR. That's clean, to say the very least. And Knights team are not done with this one. There's now adds a 3rd team to this conversation. On the west side of your map, you can see IKURD is now trying to join this fight if they can do it. And with now 4 teams within a quarter mile of one another, this is becoming more concerning for some than they can afford, including S2G.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's this is proving a bit difficult. We're down 14 teams now. We've dropped 2. We've dropped 1 actually. But is he? Wait, is he moving up? What was he doing?
So what Knights just did was they sent 2 members who weren't on the hill in cars over to the straggling member of S2G and was like, hey, take a 2v1 and win the fight. That's exactly what happened. They had the high ground for support, so they couldn't get out. And Knights picked up another kill. So they've now quartered Aegon and the remaining, I believe, 3 members, alongside the last member of S2G, on the same compound, and they are now getting support from 2 other teams on the outside of this. There's IKURD, who you can see towards that west side, as I mentioned earlier, and CRYPTICS further north.
Yeah, this is a lot of back and forth, though. Aegon takes one to the face. It does look like Knights trying to play off that 3rd party, trying to see if they can maybe get any stragglers from the back end side as Knights just play this high ground. They're in a very favorable position. But if IKURD spots them out and it gets a few good shots in, I want to see a good headshot. Oh, Knights looking kind of looking for a shot. Oh, the bullets rain. Good play.
Not one that's over just yet. Again, still 3 or 4 teams in this conversation. Salem drops a little bit further than they were intending to do so. Elsewhere, by the way, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is currently in a different fight, and it seems like multiple teams are. Road to Glory now being dusted down. They're dead. Road to Glory will exit early. They were a 3rd place finisher in game number 1, and they are dispatched of quickly. TRIPLR Esports send yet another team home early in a game.
Good play. I mean, I really like to see that. And again, more people getting knocked down there. and a lot of action. A little bit of a Kobe as well. We see on the kill feed as one player did get knocked out there by a grenade. But it's all going a little bit up now at the moment as we're trying to see if anything else comes from these fights. And the Knights, it's just in a position to just play this rock, basically. And this is why I like this map so much, is that it's really difficult. I think the verticality of this map, it really poses a bit of a threat to a lot of teams if you're stuck into in a few houses like that down there, like they are.
And is this threat finally subsided? I think Knights have finally, gone elsewhere. See them going for a little bit of parkour, but they're not going to find that. Aegon still on 3 members. IKURD still around on 4. And has CRYPTICS left or did they die? I have lost the kill feed at this point.
Yeah, Killfield was a bit back and forth there. We got one nade. I think it was... Oh, I didn't even catch that. It's difficult. Excuse me. It's difficult to follow sometimes with some of these players' names don't have the team name in front of it. So you see like a kill come and it's like you can't really catch up with that. But Aegon's still in this, still stuck here, and Knights is just holding them.
I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. Basically, between a rock, a hard place, and 2 teams. The rock being the very large mountain, the hard place being Los Leones, and the 2 teams being sandwiched between the 2 of them. This is weird, to say the very least, for Aegon, because they haven't really been in this scenario before, and if they hop in the car, there's going to be either 7 or 8 players all shooting at said car, and those cars don't have enough HP to survive that. Just not the case.
No.
And Knights also taking a different fight with Clear Vision, who, as I said earlier, are down to 3 members. They could be down to 2 at this point, because we've lost a fair few amount of teams, and things have looked a little chaotic, to say the very least. And it's, even then, not looking great for some of these squads.
I think they should just put a zip line down, I think. Oh,
Agreed.
Sorry, wrong game. They should get in a car, drive down, and then try and get that. Yeah, I think Knights is kind of playing this top a bit too much, looking for the play on Aegon. Triple's there with a shotgun, trying to get the play, but actually gets outplayed as he gets taken out with a submachine gun. And there's an ump on the feed as well as they do get triple. That's a lot of knocks.
And it's mostly coming from Triple. They've fully lost D7M, but Greedy for Kills now getting a little, well, oh my goodness, Greedy for Kills. Wow, can't believe that. They've lived up to their namesake. And they've lost 2 members for it. And Triple Esports losing an early member, this is something we saw from them back in game number 1 with Clear Vision, where they found opening kills, they found a full team elimination, but they were also losing members in the process, and things have become a little bit more difficult for them than they can afford.
Yeah, it is becoming quite unfortunate for them. But again, I'm kind of struggling following this action a bit. No, I wouldn't say struggling. I think it's just with Miramar, it's so vast, so open, and you're getting these very separated incidents of fighting. It doesn't seem that we're getting the same amount of action we saw in the first game, and teams are a little bit more hesitant to actually engage. 11 teams still up, 38 remaining, and we are slowly going to stage 4 of the zone. Now, I don't know if that's slow. I think it's a little bit slower than last game that we saw, but teams don't seem too keen to really fight.
I mean, I wish they were a little bit more keen. Finally, we are seeing Aegon try to get out. I was talking about multiple teams all looking at this general direction. Doesn't seem like it's going to be 8 members shooting. Seems like it's just 2, 3, maybe 4 from the Knights team. And they are hitting a couple shots, but in some of these cars, it's less than ideal to try and aim at. You can see Don't Peek has been caught out of their buggy. What the heck happened there? And how are they still alive? How are nobody killing them? Finally, they will be taken out. That should be the finish. And down to 2 goes Aegon.
Yeah, I don't know how they found themselves off the buggy. Maybe the buggy got damaged so much that it was about to explode, so they had to abandon ship. But it looks like this player from Knight's team, all they're doing, they're like a Gatling gun, like a sentry turret on this mountain, and all their only job for their team is shoot cars. That's your job. They told him, mate, okay, you stay there on that side. A car comes by, shoot it. That's what you're doing today. Don't worry about knocking anyone. If someone comes off their buggy, you can get a kill. Shoot tires, shoot cars. It seems that that's actually all we're seeing right now. Is people just going for the cars. Yeah.
You can't say you really blame them for it. The World of Battle losing Arthur there. I think that's them exiting in 10th place now, or 11th place, sorry. And more teams falling, more teams losing individual members as well. And this is a much smaller zone than when we saw last time. Stage 4 fully closing. We saw 12 or 13 teams at the beginning of Stage 4 back on Arangol, and with less natural cover, staying alive longer becomes significantly more difficult.
Yeah, it does. Especially as the zone starts creeping in now. We've got a minute and 13 left until we start seeing another zone move in and establish itself. And a little bit of action is going to come back and forth. CRYPTICS, I mean, CRYPTICS are on 2 eliminations. They're also playing it a bit slow. We've got one player just hiding behind a buggy's tire, just looking for an opportunistic moment to try and get some sort of points on the board as they're also trying to struggle. But we do get a team getting dropped down. So in the top 9 at least, one more team over till we start getting that good points for them with these eliminations. But pretty slow start from all these teams. And ONYX does find one on Knights. That might be difficult. 25 teams still on the board, but ONYX, it's going to get taken out actually by CS. And a lot is happening now.
Oh,
really...
CRYPTICS. You need that one back, if you can find it at least, but it doesn't seem like it's going to help. Oh no, you try to carry your teammate out of danger and they get shot off your back. That is a demoralizing defeat, to say the very least, and one you're definitely going to want back. IKURD will exit 9th place. The last team to not get placement points, unfortunately, is a team that has done so in back-to-back games, and that one's going to hurt their morale.
Yeah, you know what? You don't want that to happen, honestly. If you're trying to save a teammate and then just get knocked off your shoulders with you as well, that has to sting. It's quite unfortunate. But I believe I saw... Ooh, that was a nasty shot. And Silham gets taken out for Knights. He's knocked though. Still opportunity to raise. So it does look like they're going to come up indeed and try and save out their teammate. But no, he got taken out. No, he's still up. Salim's still up. He's just lying somewhere. The team just needs to try and get to him.
I don't know if they're going to be able to. That's the main problem for them. We haven't lost all that many teams in the last few minutes or so. Since the middle of Stage 3, it's been about 6-7 minutes. We've only lost 3 full squads. In terms of housekeeping, dead last, aka 15th place, because we did not start today, or this game at least, with 16 teams. NIGMA Galaxy placed 15th. Road to Glory, who placed 3rd in last game, placed 14th. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Esports, or KSA, was 10th last game, finished, unfortunately, 13th here. And S2G, who I will remind you placed 2nd last time we saw them, will place 12th, with only a couple kills to write home about. A couple teams just disappointing finishes in direct contrast to extremely good showings on Arangol. Maybe they just hate Miramar. Me too, bro. Me too.
Miramar, you know what? I'll take it back, okay? Just for these teams, I'll take it back. I'll take it back in saying that the first mistake I'm making is that my voice keeps breaking. And you know, it's a rough time. But I'll take it back in saying that Miramar is not a great map. It does slow it down a bit, and if you're good at long-range engagements, this is exactly where you're going to find yourself dominated. If you're not, it might be the other way around, but we do see Conqueror Iraq is trying to see if they can get anything down here, but it doesn't seem they can connect any of those bullets.
No, they found one. Conqueror Iraq needs to be careful. That's the problem. They're between Knight's team and multiple others, including TRIPLR Esports on the south side of this, R9 just below them. And it doesn't seem like they're all that aware of their current, we'll say less than ideal, current geographical whereabouts. And even in this conversation is CRYPTICS as well. I didn't know they were here. And this is multiple teams not having any safe haven. Conqueror Iraq may think that they're safe, but they're not. Even from the south side or directly under them.
You know, Knights is doing a pretty good job at staying in this so far. 4 elims for themselves. That nets them a really comfy spot. 4 elims, top 7. What's that? About 6 points that you got moving into this next game, into the third game after that. That's not that bad. That's really not that bad given the dry spell that we have with points on elims. 5 elims for Knights. So again, I think they have loved being on this high ground so far, and they're actually going to be able to go over and get one knock, and that's going to be good for them. And if that thirst comes through, that would be good points on the board but it doesn't look like they'll be able to capitalize on that just yet. No nades to really throw out there, get that out, and that res is going to come through. They're all able to pick up that kill and that down teammate. And CONQUEROR also taking a few nades to the face, trying to get to triple here, but not really anything happening just yet. A lot of cars we have here, time to light.
Yeah, everybody with the availability to use them. The problem is on this mountainside, it's not the safest thing to do, and that's the issue. A lot of these teams may think, oh, we have a vehicle, we have a car, we can get out of dodge if we need to do so, but they don't have that same safety net that you would otherwise, and that's an issue they're going to run into, that false sense of security should they be overwhelmed. 3 or 4 teams all in this conversation, and Clear Vision losing yet another member. Vito, if I can see correctly, is the only one left alive. A spray from distance, it will be Clear Vito finished off, and Aegon even falling at the end of the day. Ghost will fall as well, and we're down to 4 teams.
Yeah, indeed we are. Sorry, I just need to clear my throat there. But we are down to 4 teams, 3 teams in actual fact. We see another team leaving the lobby, unfortunately, with their tail tucked between the legs. We do have the top 3 situation napping now. We have Knights, we have Triple, and we have, what's the third team that we have up here?
CONQUEROR.
CONQUEROR.
Still alive. Still just patiently waiting on that west side. And it seems like it's working for them. Finally getting involved in the fights once more, but Knights team and secret kill totals seem to be going hand in hand. CONQUEROR are going to be the first one forced out of positions. You can see exactly why that's such a terrible feat. A ROM stuck in a valley and will soon be sent to one even further down. This is not safe for them by any means, especially with Triple Esports, and now Knights setting up a flank.
Yeah, it does seem that they are setting up a flank indeed. As they're trying to move up below Triple here, they might be able to get something. We do see player here playing it soft and slowly, peeking around the cop. Actually does get one knock. He's going to go for the second one. He does, as they manage to grab 2 off Knights. And just like that, it all just comes down to the winner chicken dinner. And you know what? I couldn't even for a second find out what exactly happened there, but Knights were the team to come out victorious, as we do have that one player just, oh man, that wraparound was beautiful. What a game.
That's something we've seen multiple times from Knights in this game alone, much less in this invitational qualifier. I'll throw it back all the way to some of our first fighting. When Knights were occupying the top of a ledge, they were trying to fight with Aegon, they were trying to fight with S2G, CRYPTICS in the conversation. Everybody and their mother was in this fight. And yet Knights were like, oh yeah, let's just patiently wait. We'll take advantage of our positioning, and more importantly, walk away with free kills at the end of the day. The last time they did it, it was S2G, who had a single member on an island, and they send 2 players saying, hey, take a 2v1, use a car, and basically make it a 1vx scenario for S2G no matter what fight they're in. And it worked here, it worked then. Knights have expert fight planning, and sometimes flight planning as they fly away with game number 2.
Yeah, and they they do, oh my god, they do fly away with that win, and it's going to net themselves a good few points. I'm excited to see the scoreboard. I didn't take a screenshot on the one before, so I don't exactly know where we're sitting right now, but they're obviously the top 10. They've got themselves some good few points. They've established themselves now, and you know, get that momentum going. Still only halfway through today, 2 more maps to go, as we have a lot of excitement coming up. We still have Sandhawk and then going back to Erangel. So I'm excited to see what Knights is going to bring to the table and what any of these teams are going to bring. We still have NIGMA Galaxy still having to prove themselves a bit more after winning that first game. Aegon being, in my opinion, also a really good team. It's just being a little bit lackluster. I feel like they're playing it too safe. I don't know if I'm right in saying that, but maybe.
I mean, there are a couple fights where you could say, oh, they're over-aggressive, or others where you're surprised they get out alive. But the fact that they make it to the top 6 or top 7 is the most important part for them. They found a couple kills throughout. They were able to dispatch ONYX Ravens, at least a couple members fairly early. But they got a much-needed finish, at least in direct comparison to what we saw last game, where they finished 12th with only a couple kills. It wasn't a good game for them. Here, there have been some games or some teams returning to form. Others returning to disappointment. NIGMA Galaxy, I'll say it, dead last. Road to Glory, second to last. S2G placed 12th, which is 4th to last technically, because we only had 15 teams. And you're looking at a lot of teams and saying, what happened? Where'd you go? We have 3 of the top 4 teams exiting in 3 of the bottom 4 places, and then the team who placed 4th last game is like, oh yeah, hey, let's just win this one. And it worked.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think we pretty much established that fact quite well before we started casting today, that there is going to be a lot of upsets today, and we've seen teams establish themselves quite well in the first game, and then the second game they kind of fall off. I've seen a lot of third parties today. A lot of times, just like Knights did in that previous fight, where people just kind of wait for that action to happen and get the pick off, or just trying to get any stragglers as people trying to move between sides. Exactly what Knights did here, as they managed to grab that person off their buggy, and a lot of action in between.
Yeah, seemingly everything went the Knights' way from the start of this game to the very end. I'm curious, as I have my voice crack, my bad. I'm curious as to what the final kill totals were for them. And Aegon, I think Aegon ended up finishing just narrowly, and I mean ever so narrowly, outside of Clear Vision. So they should have picked up what was 5th place, Clear Vision 4th, Conqueror Iraq 3rd, and then a very nice showing at the end of the day from Triple Esports to finish 2nd. But something that could have been better, but at the end just maybe wasn't. Feels good.
I think Knights ended up picking over 12 kills that game, which that is good points. That's what you want. That's money. That's absolute money. But I mean, as it stands right now, pretty interesting. I've just got a map up now. I just got some information about the top teams right now in MENA, and NIGMA Galaxy is at the top, sitting at number 1 in the region, and Triple Esports at 9th. So we do have some really, really strong teams going up against each other, but it just shows, just because you're first in the region does not mean that it's an automatic win. Knights again proving that they have what it takes to get those points on the board and win this one. 22 points going to them. CONQUEROR doing a fantastic, grabbing themselves 11 points, but in a tie with Triple Esports in this game as well, 4 points that is, as they both get themselves a good amount of points. Aegon managed to grab themselves back in, actually getting a point this game, being in the top 5, helping them up some significantly. But look at this, 12th place. We have the previous team that won that first map, with IKURD actually getting 2 points on the board as well, which I'm just excited about. I just want them to get a few points, but really good. Unfortunately, Team Tough is having another tough time. Oh, I'm not going to do it to them. They're having a tough time.
Team Tough wasn't the team. They were the only team that didn't play.
That's the team that didn't come in, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, they were the only squad to not play. I have my Google sheet sitting next to me where I'm also casually tracking point totals. It not great for Tough. Dead last game, 0 points, and not playing game 2, so 0 points there as well. Road to Glory with 0. NIGMA Galaxy at least picked up a single kill, so we'll see an overall scoreboard into day number 2, or into the end of 2. But I gotta say, this is surprising for some of these teams, especially with Knights now being on the top.
Yeah, that is very surprising. But it just shows the amount of points that NIGMA Galaxy actually picked up in that first game. Like that really helped them to at least keep somewhat of a lead over the rest of the pack, with Triple Esports only on 17 and quite a big deficit of 7 points between them and the second place. So NIGMA Galaxy still has a good opportunity to get back into it, but Knights doing, such a good show. S2G, R9, CONQUEROR Iraq, ONYX, Clear Vision, top 8 of this game, 2 games so far. All these teams are doing exceptionally well. But it needs to be said that we have a lot of games still going, as the third game is still up for grabs to try and get the more points. And I think this is where we're going to start seeing the big plays. Time to Light. This is where we need these points to come in, and maybe we see one team pulling out far, just like F1 Red Bull just at the moment, just kind of running away with the pack. But maybe we see a bit more of an even pack.
I'm also looking at Greedy for Kills and saying they looked okay, but finishing 8th place only, and technically finishing 10th in terms of placement, needs to be better for them. Yeah, they need improvements. That's one of the teams, them and CRYPTICS, the 2 teams that you could really look for more. CRYPTICS looked really good in this game in terms of placing well. They just couldn't find the kills they were looking for at the end of the day.
No, they couldn't. It's difficult though, isn't it? That's good though, at least that we only have to see that map once. Miramar came in, it left, broke some hearts, unfortunately, made a few people sad, but luckily don't have to touch it again. I am happy though that we're going to see Erangel on the fourth map. That was a really nice map to be able to see. I mean, Sanok's not that bad either, but it's nice to see a bit of diversity in these games, and hopefully we have a little bit more of a closer game. We honestly, we don't want to see teams just there being massive gaps. You want to see a bit of excitement.
There's also the conversation of Road to Glory. As you can see, Road to Glory finished third place in game number 1, and all the points you see right now are all the points they got in game number 1. They finished in third place in terms of placement. They got 2 kills. Even though they placed third in placement, they ended up walking away from game number 1 in 5th overall, and with kill points and elimination points totaled up. And now they're down in 10th, even after, again, a third place finish in one of our 2 games. There need to be better showings from some of these teams where you're saying, where the heck did they go? Where, on the Knights side, after 2 games, the Knights are 38 points. Game number 1, they placed 4th, but had 12 kills. And game number 2, they placed 1st, and you guessed it, had 12 kills. It's insane for them, and they're just looking better and better. I'm concerned for other teams. Luckily, I think the Knights will be able to walk away with this one fairly cleanly at the end of the day. So it's basically a fight for 2nd through 8th rather than 1st through 8th. But it's still very surprising to see some of those totals.
It is very surprising indeed. We can go on and on about it. It needs to be said that it's very possible for any of these teams to come back into this game and take that first place. We've only had 2 games. If any of these teams decide to go absolutely ham and get like 15 elims and get that winner chicken dinner, easy first place, or even just top 3. So it's not over just yet. We've had a good showing of talent from all these teams, but they have more than enough time to establish themselves and get themselves some good points.
Yeah, there's a lot of time remaining, and a couple teams showing that they can show up, other teams showing that they forgot to show up. There have been a lot of zeros on the board, less in game number 2, but still concerning. The fact that NIGMA Galaxy just exited in dead last place, though, that's the concerning point for me. Or I'm looking at this and saying, what the heck happened? And I'm also looking at some of these other teams and saying, where'd you go? We miss you so.
Yep.
Like S2G, the World of Battle, 0 points in game number 2. The World of Battle did okay in game number 1. They finished off with a couple placement points. They ended up in 8th overall after all the points were tallied up. And not the case. At least not particularly great.
No, it's not. It's not the case at all. It's not the case. But it's still... Oh my words! Today's been too much. Today's been too much. Crazy game so far. Any thoughts on Sanok? I've only seen it once. Is there anything that you like about that next map?
My favorite part is it's basically Erangel, but different layout. It's very similar in terms of geographical and topography. The other conversation is you have different types of buildings to play around and different setups when a lot of teams try and go for later zones. Still similar in terms of how you use your environment, in terms of keeping you safe, mountains, everybody's favorite trees. You still have a lot of rocks everywhere. But the other conversation is how the compounds work. They're usually more disjointed and across roads rather than all on the same side. So sometimes you have like a set of 4 buildings and they're on the corner of 2 sets of streets. So you can't just walk from building to building without crossing a street.
Okay, fair enough. So there's a little bit more opportunity to just get taken out while you're trying to move for a bit of cover. Okay, that's really exciting. That's good stuff. And we'll see what it will bring in a little bit. And yeah, I mean, again, thank you so much for everyone watching right now. This has been a really interesting 2 games so far, and the casting, I think we've had a really fun time trying to make sense of these teams having good and bad days simultaneously. I don't know how that works, but it does. And yeah, so far it's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I'm also happy with how some of these individual games have gone, where you're seeing a roller coaster where Occasionally, you're seeing NIGMA Galaxy drop 23 points, and otherwise, you're seeing them drop 1 point, and saying, "Where's that consistency?" I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. Somebody said in chat, and I quote, "This two-caster doesn't know about NIGMA PUBG," and yet I said almost word for word, I'm concerned that they're going to do the exact same thing again and win game 1 and pick up 12 kills. They picked up 13, by the way, and then do very little for the remainder of our games. And all I'm saying is, so far, I'm right. I don't usually brag about that, but I was. So...
But you're sore loser. You know what? I honestly don't want to get into debate with you about anything because I'm just gonna get the loser. That's all I'm gonna get. Okay, well, good. You stand up for yourself. You tell those people watching right now that they don't know what they're talking about. But that being said, we are going to jump into this next game shortly.
There you
actually
go.
Right now.
He got it too.
I didn't. No, I didn't. I thought it was going to come immediately, but it didn't. I tried to, set it up nicely, but that was a shame. That was a good one. But we have the game. And for a second, I'll just keep talking, and we've got an opportunity to look at where these teams are going to drop and see what they're going to do in it. And we already have a good amount of spread here.
Have a conversation about why the colors are the way they are. It seems like Aegon, again, going far from everybody else except for one team. And I have a sneaking feeling that they may be caught very early. It's KSA Esports, very close. IKURD is now close with Conquer Iraq, and they've already lost a member. Tiger making up for some lost time and picking up an opening. Good start, but there are now 3 teams here near Painan. The other is across the canal.
Oh, and I like the action already breaking out as they're fighting in these... Oh, my word. Please hit a shot with a shotgun. I want to see someone go down, but the jump shot coming around the corner as he swishes and flicks and gets that knocked down. And a good start for Conqueror. Actually, they managed to grab themselves 1 knock at least, but that doesn't not over yet. Golden still looking for opportunities to try and get that point on the board. This is one of the teams that we seem to be doing really well, and this means the world for them.
Yeah. Keep an eye on CRYPTICS, though. The team in red on your map rotating in. There's one on the backside of the canal rotating in from a distance. This is the singular member I'm concerned about. And now greedy for kills in with S2G. Here comes CRYPTICS, a couple downs. Conquer Iraq losing a member. IKURD now being finished off as well. And kill points are being dispersed seemingly everywhere. But Kakad seems to be aware that there's a rotation coming in from CRYPTICS. And with that being the case, they're looking much better. There's Conquer Iraq now on the top side, and CRYPTICS finding multiple kills as it stands. Everybody getting in this fight, and the first team gone. Surprisingly, at the end of the day, it's a disappointing one to say the very least. It was Conquer. Yeah, no, it wasn't. Wait.
No, Conquer is still up. They still got a few up. The team that dropped out, I believe, was again these names.
Conquer Iraq finished 14th, but for some reason I'm blanking on the name.
I literally, and you know what? I'm gonna stand here together with you, camaraderie, and say
KSA. It was KSA. No,
it was KSA.
It wasn't. KSA was Aegon. No, KSA was Aegon.
You know what? A team left.
It was IKURD.
Was it IKURD?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, it was IKURD. Yeah. It was IKURD.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I remember now because they also had the pink banner. Yeah.
Yep.
It is what it is. I saw you set up there, but then I was like, I can step in and help, and having a little bit difficulty loading in.
There we go.
The graphics. Oh, wow! That whole nature just grew quickly. Damn, that was crazy.
Wait a second. If I'm seeing this correctly, we're seeing Clear Vision open up again with a lost early member, but they have 2 kills for Van Kid, who was the first player dead back in game number 2, and they already have those 2 kills onto the Knights, and things are becoming more and more difficult for the Knights as it stands, because, well, remember, they have 38 points in this. so they are in a clear first place, but they'd like to keep it. It is still money at the end of the day. First place gets $500, second only gets $350. So $150 drop for a few points. Something to keep in mind maybe for later.
Yeah, Knights doing good, but they got a lot of bullets there. They did take up a lot. But look at this. Aegon, again, just playing this so quietly. They're just hiding. Look at this. Look at this man. Look at this IQ man. Look at this. Don't peek, deciding to do exactly what their name means. Quietly creeping, lurking. Looking for that play. Do they see it? Yeah, oh, they don't. He gets up. He gets two. Does he get more? Don't peek. He's actually doing crazy things right now. Oh, he's going to get taken out from the back. Aegon, IQ coming up to help the team, popping out the nade, trying to save it out, but they do clear up one. Clear Van Kid on the back line, still looking for more. IQ. He's going to rush up forward.
They found another.
Maybe. He's got the ump in hand. Does he have the play? Peeks on the corner with the HCOG. What's up with the hollow?
They're going for the res.
Are they?
Somehow Saf is going for the res here. Because of the early damage done by I8, he actually wants to go for the res, and he'll actually find it as well. Because this is now a 2 versus 3, and a little bit more reasonable, but there's healing that has to be done. And quickly so, because Aegon is very much hunting these frags down.
Yeah, but it does look like they're playing it slow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the nade.
Around the corner. Oh, nade's going to land. In fact, it's going to be able to get one knock. Aegon in trouble right now. 2v2 situation, still trying to hold on for dear life, trying to pre-fire every corner in hopes that they might get a possible hit, but it doesn't seem to be the case as they're still looking for the play. They do have the opportunity for the rest. They are going to take it. They do have a knock on the other side, so there might be a back and forth here. They need to try and get up. That nade's going to eat him in the face. A little bit of shrapnel's going to kick him on the cheek. Shot around the corner. Do they get anything, though? They do spot out one. That's not going to land anything, but they do find the down player. He is down for days as they do get out the kill on KSA, and that's going to take them out. And Aegon finally showing a bit of grit.
In the process, multiple other teams dropping, or at least one other team dropping elsewhere. If I'm right, it was a fight with S2G and or here with Clear Vision and the Knights. I do not believe the Knights have exited just yet. Yeah, you can see them sitting right in front of you.
There, yeah.
And Road to Glory now trying to join this fight just the same. We have seen some very interesting fights, to say the very least, and some of these interesting battles going the way teams that we haven't seen do all that well in some of these engagements. But there have been improvements, and that's the important part. At least not finding nearly as much as I think they were hoping for there. And the Knights still just patiently waiting. But the zone is closing, and will fully close in the next 10 seconds or so, with Vito stuck inside of it.
Yeah, no, it's tough games, yeah. It's fantastic to see how these players are looking at tiny pixels across the quarry over on the other hills and finding these shots, still doing some damage, putting it down. But still, man, this is close. We have such a quicker game right now, Time to Light. We are already, with only stage 2, down to 11 teams. Can you believe that?
I am a fan of it. I like these quicker games. I also like Sandhawk, not gonna lie. Probably either my favorite map or second favorite. First is probably Erangel because I'm an OG. But seeing Sandhawk, or even Vikendi for that matter, played in similar fashion of Erangel on most occasions is what I love. RTG has Groza, ironically, without a Groza. I don't think I've ever seen one Groza in their hand. They don't need one. M4 out, finds the down. Vito, if they get behind the tree, I don't think they're even safe there. It's a very skinny tree. Yeah, Vito very much dead here. And Clear Vision down to yet another lost early member. I think that's at least left alone only.
That's quite unfortunate. We saw Clear drop out earlier as well. It was them that got knocked off the buggy. One of Clear Vision's, I think. Yeah, I can't remember. But no, it was Aegon. Aegon got knocked off the buggy. But yeah, RTG managed to grab themselves a good few kills. 2, in fact. 2 eliminations, good points. But we still have 11 teams, so we haven't knocked out just yet. I am keeping my eyes on Knights here. It seems that they only have 2 players left, if I'm correct. Yes. And yeah, one seems... Is one knocked?
No, so they're both alive, but they lost 2 members earlier when Clear Vision was in the fight. And that's why Road to Glory is down 1 lower as well. because Clear Vision found a couple of those kills, but then ended up being taken out themselves by a combination of the Knights and Road to Glory as well. So as of right now, I think it's them on 3 members, and Knights on 2, and Clear Vision on 1. So there's a little cascade fall away for the 3 squads.
Interesting. And that does look like we're going to slow down a bit now. So only stage 2, big zone, very big zone. So we don't have a lot of teams, but we have a lot of space and a lot of trees. Yeah. So it does look like Tosca is going to at least pick up Groza, so they do get out the zone. But now this is the part where it's running simulator. We sit back, we enjoy just sit back, enjoy the commentary, and we just wait for any of these teams to start a fight. And my breath wasn't even cold before we really have another one going. So that wasn't even. ONYX looks to be maybe going up against NIGMA in this one.
It's ONYX, Ravens, NIGMA, and then elsewhere, S2G is in yet another fight. NIGMA Galaxy already losing 1. Nath, nice opening, but there's a response. Lath, a little over-aggressive, is caught out in the conversation. And there's a flank coming through. ONYX Ravens trying to have it go under the radar. It doesn't end up working. That vision is there for Lord. They want to try and take this fight, and they'll do significantly more damage.
That's crazy. Lord was actually the one that did not have any cover, with Ragnarok had cover, and even though that was the case, Lord still made good value of being out in the open, putting on pressure. Oh, we're taking a few shots though. Good peek though from Ragnarok. That was nice, picking the off angle without them expecting, just getting some damage done.
And NIGMA Galaxy still taking the other side of the fight though. That's the problem starting to develop, and it doesn't seem like ONYX Ravens are all that put together for it. Radif low is going to be able to get off a first aid kit somehow and get out with that. Radif also has a vision through the floorboards. He's going to swing, but his DBS significantly worse, it seems. He'll end up falling. And the shots from distance, Coops doesn't even look like he needs to be in the conversation, but more members of NIGMA Galaxy falling. They're down to just 2, at least alive, but it does seem like they found the finishes they were looking for in the rest of the ONYX Ravens.
Yeah, there's still 1 ONYX driving around in a car. And they are rocking up, so they might... Yeah, it does seem so. Lord's down and prone. He needs to watch out there. They are looking for that play. Nade's going to come out, though. Lord's still looking for the play. They're still in the building, trying to see if they can spot out any information. They're trying to cock out that grenade, looking for the play. That one nade's going to come through. That's going to force Lord to push out forward. They do know exactly where each person is. Shotgun's going to break down that door as they're trying to look for the kill there. But the shot! Way. Oh, my word! ONYX! Through the door, connects beautifully. But it does. They're not out just yet. NIGMA Galaxy still has 2 players. Just raised 1. They've lost a 4th.
It does seem like their 3rd will be removed as well. Ragnarok, just barely gets the finish. You have an M4 there, Coops. Maybe a little bit more useful. Ragnarok somehow escapes there with his life and still has the sausage in hand. This could become a much more difficult conversation, but no, the DBS a little bit better from range. And NIGMA Galaxy will send ONYX Ravens out in 11th. But it was significantly closer than it should have been. I thought NIGMA Galaxy was going to escape with all 4 players alive, and yet they just barely keep 2.
That was that shot through the door, man. That connected so well for ONYX. They almost brought that back. They even got the raise back. They played it so well, and still managed to get 2 elims from NIGMA Galaxy. So that will net them some points, but unfortunately they won't be able to get that nice placement point. So that's going to sting a little bit after that engagement.
Quick conversation starter. I said an extra team ended up dying when we were in that Aegon KSA fight. It turns out it was Greedy for Kills who ended up dropping in 12th place. So Greedy for Kills through 3 games have placed 7th with 2 points. They placed 10th with 5 points, and now they will unfortunately finish nearly dead last, or in this case 13th. I don't know how many points they had because I didn't see their kill totals. My presumption is 1 or 2, but we'll get the exact numbers at the end of this game. Again, keep an eye on your scoreboard. My Excel spreadsheet is only nearly as good as my ability to pay attention to individual teams, which is not as good as our admin team. I'm not trying to
it's not. No, by no means. We're just trying to keep tally so we know what's going on, because it's not always easy to try and follow that kill feed. So we do have the World of Battle, TWOB. They still in it though. They've lost 2 members. They have 2 eliminations, only on Muhammad. So they've got the points. I think that's the optimistic way of looking at it. They still have the elims. They in the zone, so they're kind of safe. They don't have to really worry about anyone just yet. Just need to worry about where they enter the zone from, and they're not going to be able to be gatekept from the side. So still opportunity for them to try and get that valuable points in. Did they just get? Did they just get?
Member. They just lost
zone.
another member. So what TWOB is trying to do is they're trying to just stick in the zone because early ticks aren't going to kill them. And they're looking for long rotations, but RTG was apparently exactly where they tried for one of those 2 rotations, and they're down to 1 member. I don't know if it's going to end up being solidified as 1 member, but I'm pretty sure that is indeed the case. And RTG going for something similar. Koenigsegg out here for Tosca, and they will be significantly faster in their own rotation. But now as Stage 4 closes, or Stage 3 closes, and Stage 4 is getting ready to do so, this storm, or this zone, is starting to tick a lot more and becoming a little bit more concerning for some of these teams. RTG no longer one of them, as they're inside.
Yeah, they find themselves a really nice little valley, though. Aegon is on the opposite side end of this valley, just on the left. So they might find themselves in a fight. Galaxy looking at them, 4 eliminations, still top 10. There's still a lot to be left up for the imagination here. These teams have all the opportunity to really prove themselves to get these valuable points. But I'm also looking at TRIPLR Esports. They've proven themselves to consistently get good points. But Aegon actually managed to find one on triple. Oh no, what's that? That's the second time in a row I talked about someone. That's twice.
You've done it twice in like 3 minutes. He goes, oh yeah, I'm really looking for X team. And then X team ends up losing a member somehow. And in this case, it's triple. I don't know if that member has been finished off. I believe they are disjointed from the rest of the team. And it actually turns out that NIGMA Galaxy have vision onto them with Aegon as well. Aegon, by the way, down to just 3 members because of their fight earlier on with KSA. And now NIGMA Galaxy having a similar scenario with ONYX Ravens, but they're down to 2. I gotta say, still think NIGMA Galaxy should have been able to walk away from that one with all 4 members alive, and it was a little disappointing they didn't. Also, the Knights have lost a 3rd player, by the way, and Salem is the only one left alive for our current 1st place team.
I'm just not going to say anything about any teams, because it seems that the caster curse is very real today.
You're like Jose Mourinho. If I speak, I am in big trouble. Big trouble.
Big trouble. Yes, if I speak, I'm big trouble. It's honestly... It's not good. I'm just, you know what? I'm just gonna. Oh man, that's rough. I can't believe it happened twice in a row as well. As we're speaking, though, S2G is gonna lose 1, and that's gonna be them out, isn't it? Yeah, they're down to 9 teams now.
Yeah. They exit in 12th place in game 2, 9th place or 10th place, sorry. Now in game number 3, and their first place finish with second place finish with 14 points back in game number 1. Has gotten, if I'm doing my math correctly, 3 or 4 points total since. I'm getting throwbacks to NIGMA Galaxy, but NIGMA Galaxy's done a little bit better here in this game. And they've also picked up some placements. Another team has exited while I was talking.
Yeah, I didn't even see the kill feed on that one. CS is going to get knocked by 1 there.
That's the last member of Salem. Or that's the last member of Knights. That's Salem. That's CRYPTICS losing a member.
Oh, no. Okay, so... We do have, well, yeah, CRYPTICS still in though. What? Did he just drive by him?
Yeah.
R9. Oh, I mean, he's hiding behind a rock. What type of COD style?
I mean, he's alone, and he just watched 3 people drive by. You can't really blame him. He's playing for placement at this point. Oh, I think he's just seen now. Oh no.
Has he? No, he's behind the rock. No, triple didn't see him. I don't think triple saw him. Did he? No.
They're still looking is what's concerning me. The outside of EMAD's screen is where that last member is. Salem is going for this rotation onto Senke, and CRYPTICS aren't safe either. This is TRIPLR Esports, CRYPTICS, R9, and Knights, and somehow you're taking aggressive gunfights and you're alone as Salem. And it seems like it's working. He may be able to find a couple finishes here. Senke isn't safe. Lazy Lion, I believe, has been downed from distance. And R9 still only has 1 member alive.
Oh, he needs to watch out. That's a bad angle for him to be in.
He died to the zone. Oh, no.
Oh, my word. His choice of cover there was just not right. The angle of it just opened up completely to the left side of him. But it does look like CRYPTICS almost managing to grab a complete knock and a down there. And man, I can't get over that. Damn, that was tough. that's going to be nights out. And 7 teams left with 13 players remaining.
Only 1 placement point for the Knights. This is their lowest on paper finish for placement points thus far in this game. Emad was going for a res, actually ended up being downed while he was vaulting through the door. So Triple is down to just D7. And I don't know if D7's going to be able to make it through there because Aegon is intently watching this one. There's no way to get through there safely. Luckily, top than a card should be able to do so. This is very narrow for a lot of these teams, and we've lost another.
Absolutely phenomenal plays here. And there goes another team being exited as the 5th. And another one getting taken out. There's 4 teams left with 10 players remaining. As we don't have a single team so far that has stayed as 4. All of these teams at least having lost 1, 2, or maybe more players on the field. And makes for some good plays. Aegon sitting on 7 elims. Top 4. Good amount of points for themselves. They can really be happy about that. But it does look they're going to be pushed up a bit forward. They need to watch out because RTG is on the top of the map. And they find themselves kind of squished between 2 teams here. As top 4 still going out further. TRIPLR Esports, Aegon, and RTG. Who's the 4th?
The World of Battle, TWB.
World of Battle. Okay. So that's good for them. They haven't had...
Yeah.
Crazy success, yeah.
It's 3 for NIGMA, 3 for Triple, 3 for RTG, and TWB has just 1 member left alive. And they are going to as passively play this as they can. I like this top-down angle. This really gives you the long story short. I don't like how RTG just sent Groza into no man's land. That did not make sense in the slightest. And that'll lose them what would have been a player equalization against the other 2 teams. And a significantly now less likelihood of making it into that first place finish. And I think the last member of TWB has also been seen, which makes things even worse.
No, it definitely does. And there's so much on the line for them right now. 4 teams, but oh no, TRIPLR Esports gets one of them gets knocked down. In fact, not knocked out just yet. They still have an opportunity for the res, but it's behind the tree, and they are actually going to be able to get that res up. But 3 teams left actually get the kill. There goes it. Aegon gets member. That is indeed.
So
Aegon.
RTG's out. RTG's gone. TRIPLR Esports is down to 1 member, and TWB has the top-down angle. This is a 1v2v1, and Aegon will end up finishing both at the same time. TWB dispatched of, as is TRIPLR Esports, and it's Aegon x I8 to walk away with game number 3. Terrible start in game 1, better in game 2, and a return to form here in game number 3. They will walk away with that Sandhawk winner chicken dinner.
Wow, Aegon actually being able to bring this one back. We've been watching them for the past 2 games, hoping maybe they have something else in store for us. And I think this game proved that they still have something in the locker to show. And that was a good fight from them. Managed to get that top spot, get that points in. And I'm excited to see what they have offered to the scoreboard. But fantastic game that was.
Yeah, and a surprising one, I gotta say. Some of these teams exiting early, others exiting significantly later than we were expecting. S2G, another team that I'm now a little bit concerned about heading into our 4th game of play. Yes, they had a great first game. 14 points, 8 kills, 6 placement points. Game 2, 2 points total. Game 3, we'll get the exact numbers down the line. I'm going to do some tallying, as is our admin team. We're going to prep some highlights for you as well. Our break before our final game. Erangel will be repeated. Will we see repeat champions? We'll find out when we come back.
Let's do this, Abu Dhabi! this Abu Dhabi! Let's do this, 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 Abu Dhabi!
Three games down, our penultimate just coming to a close, and now Erangel on the cards, but our first time to sum up our third game of play and how the standings currently look. I gotta say, surprising on a couple fronts, not so surprising on a couple others. Our winners are where I want to start. Aegon XI8, not great in game 1, improvements in game 2, now winners in game 3. Exactly what they needed. They should be shoo-ins for the top 8.
Yeah, they definitely should. I'm really excited to see some exciting things. No, I can't say that. I'm keen to see a lot of good plays coming out in this last game. We have the fourth mat coming up, and we're going to revert it back to the beginning as we go back to Erangel. Like you said, I mean, there is a lot to be worried about, really. With Aegon now picking up some momentum, we have Aegon, we have NIGMA, we have Knights, to name a few teams that's really spearheading their way for that top position. And like we saw earlier, there's money up for grabs for just getting first place today or getting into the top amount. So yeah, good amount of cash to play for, as well as opportunities to be able to just say that you're better.
Yeah, there's also opportunities for some of these teams to uh, have an extra game. Sometimes it only takes one game. If you have a win and you pick up 6 or more kills, you are basically a guarantee to make it into the top 8. Here, it becomes a little bit more difficult. A win in 10 kills is probably the cutoff for teams who have either 0 points or very close to it. There are a couple teams that just did not show up in games number 1 and 2 and now looked better in game number 3. Number 1 team I want to look at is CRYPTICS, who looked I'm gonna say not great in game number 1. They had 0 points. Let's just be honest
Yeah.
with each other.
Yeah.
Game
Yeah.
2 they improved. They ended up finishing final 4, final 5, and then in here in game number 3 they finished 5th again instead of 6th like we saw last game. A couple kills, I think, are what we're going to be looking for from them. We'll find our final kill totals and point totals at the end of this. I'm also confused as to who placed second, whether it was Triple Esports or whether they were fortunate enough, they being the World of Battle, to finish that second place, because those placement points could be all that the World of Battle needs.
No, definitely. It's all they need is placement points. I think it gets slept on so much. A lot of teams might be pushing too hard to try and go for just elims, and all they want to do is just get those important points. They want to get as many elims as possible. What we've seen the difference between getting a bad positioning and getting 5 points and getting decent eliminations for your team and getting like second place for 6 points. So it can literally be make or break. If you get second place with like 5 kills, that gives you 10 points off the bat. 11 points. So that's a lot. That's first place amount of points that you're getting right there, just because you're just trying to play it a little bit more softer. But we're going to look at the scoreboard in a bit as well. That will give us exactly the numbers that we're looking for. And obviously at the top, Aegon, 23 points in total. That's up there with, I think it was, who got 23 points as well in the first game?
NIGMA Galaxy.
NIGMA, yeah, it's up there with NIGMA. They got 23 points, so that's probably the highest that we've seen so far today in terms of points total.
And interestingly enough, Triple Esports did indeed place third. It was the World of Battle to place second, not in terms of overall points, but in terms of individual. CRYPTICS, I was talking about them and their totals in terms of game number 2. They ended up with 12 after game number 2, so great showing from them. A couple teams that needed improvements, find it, and a couple teams that needed, we'll say, better showings, sometimes didn't. So we can see the overall scoreboard here to really give you the TLDR.
Oh my word. Knights 41, 10 points different between Knights and Aegon, but NIGMA and Aegon sitting at a tie for 31 points. That is fun. Like, that's not even bad. That's fun. That's going to make for a very close game. These teams probably also somewhat keep score in their head about where they are. Or do these teams know what points they have going into every single game, or do they not? I don't know.
I think they can do their own point totals. Usually they'll keep very good track of it, but some teams don't. They like to keep the clear vision ahead.
What did you say, clear vision? Just because is it because you're seeing clear vision in front of you?
Maybe. Also, it's because you have to keep that. It was more going to be a joke about keeping a clear head and not worrying about the point totals, but
then you said clear vision because you saw clear vision. Great, mate.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. But yeah, no. So these teams, obviously, I don't know if they know exactly the severity that we have right now, but there is high stakes going to the next game. Obviously, we have a good first place sitting at a comfortable 41 points, and that's going to help them keep themselves established. But if they don't get themselves into a good standing, good positioning, then they are going to struggle. 10 points is easily obtainable, like we said earlier, just with a good amount of elims and positioning. Yeah, that's basically it. So all they need to do is just keep their head straight on their shoulders, keep making sure that they make those good decisions. Positioning wise, I think Aegon was playing fantastic in that game. They did unfortunately lose 2 players when they shouldn't have, but we'll see if they can fix any of those errors. But I'm excited for this last game.
Yeah, we've seen some shakeups as well in the overall scoreboard. For all of you who didn't catch it, NIGMA Galaxy went from second to third. They still picked up 7 points in that game, so pretty good showing from them. Triple Esports went from third to fourth, even though they picked up 9 points in that game. S2G went from fourth to fifth, even though they picked up 6 points in the game. And R9 went from sixth all the way down to, if I'm doing my math correctly, that should be eighth. and
Mm.
they still picked up a couple points, 2 to be exact. So there are a couple teams that still picked up a fair few amount of points and just couldn't stick around. Conqueror Iraq in that conversation, they picked up 1 point in that game. They went all the way down to 10th. And this cutoff, I was talking about it, 22, 23, 24 points. It seems like that cutoff may be a little bit lower. As of right now, if we were going to stick with the average, R9, which is in 8th place, has 15 points through 3 games, averaging 5 points a game. So if we were to keep that average, you'd need about 20 points to qualify. Now, there's no guarantees. R9, RTG, and CRYPTICS could all find 10 points each, and the new cutoff would be whatever S2G is at. But that has to be a good showing. And I'm saying minimum to be comfortable for Clear Vision, ONYX Ravens, Conquer Iraq, and TWOB, who are at 14, 14, 13, and 13 respectively. All of them need probably minimum 8 or 9 points here to be even remotely happy or comfortable, much less a guarantee.
Yeah, it's there's we're going into the lower part of the top 8. There's discrepancy between points. It's minute differences, like literally make or break. And
there are
again,
6 teams within 2 points of each other.
Yeah, and again, positioning, your placement. I think that's going to be the name of the game. I don't want to say it, but I feel like this game, if the teams have been keeping tally about where they are and they know what their point is, we're going to have 2 different types of plays going to happen. We're going to have teams that is going to be waiting and playing the zone like we just had people playing now, and we have teams that are going to be aggressive, trying to go for as many elims as possible, get a good gap, maybe possibly get back into that top 8. And I'm talking about teams like Conqueror Iraq that was doing really well on that second map. They were doing fantastically, but obviously fallen a bit short on the third one. So I think we are in for a good surprise within this next last game. I'm really excited for this map. I just wanted to get started. That's all I want. Can we just does anyone have this production team on? Yeah.
Caster start game? Jeez, what are we waiting for here? No, while we do actually have a second, I'm happy we do, because I want to bring up one more thing before we move on to our game. The fact that Triple Esports is the last real comfortable team right now. I think Triple Esports can say, regardless of how we do in this game, we are probably going to qualify. Because they would need S2G to get at least 4, CRYPTICS to get at least 8, R9 and RTG to all get at least 11. And if all of that happens, then they would need either Clear Vision or ONYX Ravens to get at least 12, or TWB and Conquer Iraq to get at least 13. And that's assuming that Triple Esports gets nothing in this game. That is a very big presumption, because Triple Esports has looked very good. I see no way in which they do not get at least a couple points. Their lowest point total, by the way, up to right now, is 6. And that was in game number 1 when they placed 11th. And that was based off of kills, by the way. They got 11 points in game number 3, or in game number 2. And then if I'm doing my math correctly, they picked up 10 points in game number 3.
You're not doing any math. You're reading off what you've written. What are you saying?
Actually, no,
what are you talking about?
I did need to do quick math.
Excellent. Equal sign, sum, bracket, tab.
I don't have that set up. I'm just doing manual stats answering. Yeah.
No, I'm just putting your link.
This is a very close game. The fact that CRYPTICS get 12 points in that game is the most surprising thing. And the fact that the World of Battle had 1 player make it to 2nd place and walk away with 8 points and an extra kill point on Enigma Galaxy is more important than anything, because now the World of Battle is in the conversation and in the hunt.
They are, and I think that you couldn't have put it any better. Hunt is exactly the word we need to use in this, because that's what the bottom teams are going to be doing right now. They're going to be hunting for that top 8 spot. They want to get into this. They want to prove themselves. All these teams want to be there in the making. Now, question is, though, are we going to see that materialize in the 4th game? I don't exactly know that. But all we as casters can do is not say that we particularly like a team, because if we found out twice in a row, generally that's going to get them knocked out. We're casting together, all right?
Okay.
All right, we're standing together in this one.
So what I'm hearing here is that your new favorite team is IKURD.
I can't say that, because then IKURD's going to get completely taken out in the first second.
Your new least favorite team is IKURD, because they're terrible. They're never going to do well.
No. IKURD, please do good. No. Yeah, so let's not give anyone a cast a curse, and hopefully we can see a little bit more of a closer game. I'd love to see teams like KSA, Greedy, the World of Battle possibly even win this next game, just to throw a little bit of a spanner in it, and then we'll see where the points sit. Like you said, we have very small margins between teams in terms of points, so there's not a lot to be left over. Now the question is, are we going to see a lot of action break out? Are we going to see a lot of fights, or is this going to be the longest game of PUBG Mobile that we've ever casted?
I'm saying this is Erangel, so I'm a little concerned and or confused for a couple of these teams. We'll throw it back to game number 1 in terms of point totals. In game number 1, the top 8 teams had 5 points or 6 points or more in terms of overall placement. It was first place NIGMA Galaxy, they placed first, they had the most amount of kills. S2G second place, they placed second, they had the second most amount of kills. And then Knight's team ended up having the second most amount of kills in terms of the placement as well. They placed 4th overall, but still had 12 kills, eliminating 4 or 3 full teams and getting 16 points. If I'm looking at some of these squads, I'm saying Aegon I don't think will do as well as they just did. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near their previous total because they had a flat 0 in game number 1. CRYPTICS may be a same conversation as well, and CRYPTICS is in the hunt as it stands. CRYPTICS currently at 18 points. Their spot is not guaranteed. There are 6 teams behind them, all within 5 points.
No, you're quite right, but you know, there's so many things happening. We're going to have to get into the game as it's going to get started. And what a view this is. First things first, why the observer loves Aegon. I think they want this glider.
Because they're going Sosnovka.
But they want this glider. Every single game we've seen so far, we've seen Aegon with this glider, mate. They looking at it going, ooh, man, I wish I could buy that right now. That is cool. That's right. They're probably telling the mates like, mate, have you seen this glider? Have you seen? I know I've been showing it on stream, but have you seen this glider? This is a cool glider, that is. That's really cool. Can you customize the parachutes? Because I feel like having such a cool glider with just a green parachute, that's not that nice.
There's already a down with the car. I have no idea where, but there's a down with the car somewhere. I think it's with... Is that top right? I think that's IKURD. There's no way IKURD is going to have a terrible start. Again, right?
One of the members from Clear also just got knocked. We're really down to 53. And Shotgun's going to come through as well. I can't read that exactly. It could. Okay. Well, that's quick.
And CONQUEROR. Oh, no.
That's a lot of action.
Not a great start. CONQUEROR is one of the teams that we need to do well here. They're on 13 points. They're currently sitting all the way down in 10th place. And they can't afford to lose members early. We're down to 55 members in the first, I think it's been 30 seconds.
Yeah, that is that's quick. That's very, very, and that's going to be clear. Is that clear vision out?
Yeah,
15 teams.
No, it's losing a member.
No,
they're down to 2 players though.
Yeah, because Tough's not playing anymore, are they?
No, I don't think so.
No. Well, Clear Vision is in trouble here. With Triple Esports going to push up forward, push it around the corner, gets the one to kill underneath the stairs, going to go into the bathroom. Do they get another one? They do get 2. That's going to be Clear Vision dead last, taken out. Oh my word.
I can't believe it. And with that, Clear Vision is officially eliminated.
Damn.
Yep. Unless they got a kill there, they are officially eliminated. And even if they did, they would need R9 and RTG to do nothing. So yeah.
Unfortunate. You know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah. It's not. That's unfortunate. Good thing for Triple though. They pushed that hard and managed to grab a good set out of that one.
And the fact is, Clear Vision was kind of stuck from the get-go. Who goes to that building to start? Who does it when there's another team in the general vicinity? And how the heck do you get run over by a car while you're landing? That's a flurry of errors, we'll say, or misjudgments from Clear Vision, and one that's going to cost them the Invitational Qualifier. With them being, we'll say, unofficially out for the time being, just to, save my slander. My question is, what do they do from here on? They still have an open qualifier. That's coming next. They do still have the last chance qualifier, should they be there. I'm sure they'd get an invite to that if it is an invite event. But my concern is, what the heck has happened? Multiple times over, we've just seen them lose and lose and lose, even though they've been close and close and close. It's just unfortunate.
It's not, man, it's really not what you want to see. And you can go on and on about it, but man, it is what it is. Cookie crumbles that way. sad. World's smallest violin. We'll move on. Focusing on the next, the next teams. We do have a lot of opportunity for these teams to still prove themselves to going up forward. We still have Knights, not any elims, but they got all their players. They are good. They got all the mates that they need. Well, not a lot. They pretty much set up, and this game is going to get underway. Much slower though. Stage 1 of the zone. Going to start moving in. We've lost one team, but it seems that looting is just going to be on priority right now.
Yeah. Clear Vision, by the way, a team that has been on the precipice of qualifying multiple events over. Just back to our last monthly qualifier, they ended up finishing 10th place. You needed to place top 5 to make it. A team who was actually even closer than them was Aegon, who was quite literally a singular point away from qualifying. If they had that extra point, they would have made it into a tiebreaker with Alpha 7, and they would have made it into the monthly qualifier, or past the monthly qualifier into the playoffs. But because they didn't, it ended up being R8, VTR, GK, and Alpha 7 as those 4 teams going to that playoffs. It was 141 Bablu who went to the grand finals from that event, by the way.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
Oh, it's cool. All right. Well, there's yeah, man. I think the one thing about PUBG for me is these lulls. Like, there's a lot of action in the beginning,
Yeah,
and then we waiting patiently for any team to come across another team. You know, I feel like I need to start saying stuff like, "Oh, Knights is doing really well right now. I really want them to win," and then suddenly a team will appear out of nowhere and just warp in next to them and take them out. You know what I mean? That's the extent of impatience I have. Just start implying the Costas curse.
This is... It's not unreasonable for some of these teams to be, we'll say, upset with some of their results. I was talking about Aegon. I've been kind of cycling back into previous events just to kind of set the scene for where some of these squads are. For Aegon, by the way, last time they played an invitational qualifier, first place, far and away by 12 points, they had the lead. 49 points was their finishing total after 1 win and 2 third-place finishes and 29 kills.
That was a good game for them. That was a really good game for them then, yeah.
It has to be something a little bit better here on Erangel. Obviously, they have already qualified, or almost certainly have done so. But, there needs to be improvements because they're also playing for some cash. And as of right now, they'd walk away with $250 because of tiebreakers. Placement points are worth more than elimination points. So if 2 teams are on, we'll say, 22 points each, and each of them have 11 kill points, or one of them has 12 kill points and 10 elimination or 10 placement points, the other one has 11 and 11. The team with 11 and 11 would qualify because placement points mean more. So keep that in mind should tiebreakers become a factor.
Yeah. Tiebreakers do become a factor. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's a lot riding on this right now, and I really hope that these teams start coming across each other. We can actually see a little bit of the action happening. TRIPLR Esports has probably the lead in terms of elimination, sitting at 4 elims for the team. They've already lost one, unfortunately, with Gaddafi being out. But they still, I think it's still a force to be reckoned with. They might be able to catch someone here, but it's just open field, you know? That's all it is right now. It's a sunset cruise. You got the wind in your hair, the sun behind your back. You know, you got your sunscreen on. You got your AR-15 in the back of the seat, you know, for any trouble that might come across you on the road. And it just kind of, you know, takes us on an adventure while we wait for them to come across anyone.
Yeah, the math is mathing. Driving through, casual assault rifle in your back pocket. I don't see anything wrong with that. Also, the conversation of a whole lot of nothing happening, the fact that Clear Vision dies almost immediately and nobody else takes early fights is what's really surprising to me here. Also, drop coming in about as expected across where the original plane, at least the direction of the original plane went. My surprising fact is the zone has almost fully closed, and there, A, aren't all that many teams still waiting inside of it, and B, aren't all that many teams fighting. And as soon as I say that, finally we have something going on. NIGMA Galaxy and Aegon, and NIGMA Galaxy loses Lord. Not a great start for them. Aegon trying to fight for those top positions. These 2 teams are tied at 31 total points through our 4 games.
I told you, all you needed to do was just say the magic words. Time to light. You just needed to say the magic words and the fight would happen. See? Exactly that. But It's not going to go any further than that, as NIGMA Galaxy just struggles to drive a car. Come on, Coops. You could do better than that. Don't hit the tree, Coops. Lord. Lord's sticking out. Did they actually have a res on that?
No, Lord just got res, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
I saw
Lord
the
just got
red
res.
on the
We're good.
name. Okay. So they get the knock and then they don't push it. What? Did they? Is that a fight breaking out?
Okay. I actually don't hate that. Because sometimes you'll see teams who don't need to take fights, take unnecessary fights. If you find a knock, just keep that in mind for later. You've done some damage. At least it adds to some of your damage totals, maybe some stat padding down the line. But the important part of it is that you don't put yourself out of position because you're walking in on a 3v4. Yes, you have the player advantage, but you don't have the positional advantage. You're going on cars, they're waiting inside of buildings. They have that advantage every day of the week. And you'll take a positional advantage over a player advantage most days of the week.
Triple Esports just drove past online. I didn't even notice. They're both of them paralleling. One's on. Ooh, fight. CRYPTICS. S2G.
CRYPTICS and S2G.
Oh!
And goodbye, CRYPTICS.
No. 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 I hate that. That's like. Oh my gosh. That's disgusting, man. Shotgun to the face and you're out.
With CRYPTICS going down there, they're now significantly more susceptible to some of those teams below them. I said at the beginning of this, they are in that 6th place position, but of the next 6 teams, there's only 5 points between them. So they don't have that same safety net that other teams above them would. S2G is a little bit more safe, especially with those 4 kills now picked up, and Triple Esports is a similar conversation, especially with their 4 kills in this game. They have lost Bandar, but I don't think they're really going to care. There are a couple teams that are significantly more happy, and with CRYPTICS falling, S2G and Triple have basically just all but guaranteed their spot top 8 as well.
Yeah, that was a bad loss for them, but it does look like R9 managed to grab 2 on Triple, so that's exactly what I was wondering, whether or not they actually saw each other. But it looks like R9 was the team to spot out Triple first, and that's going to cost them dearly. But oh, D7M almost getting a bad spot there, as Aegon again. Every time I feel like we go over to Aegon, they're either prone, crouching, or hiding behind a wall waiting for someone. It's just me. Look at them. Like
it's that or they're skydiving.
Yeah,
it's one of the 2 things.
Yeah, and Don't Peek is dead. That's also one.
Yeah, Don't Peek dies first here in this game as well. Greedy for kills. They have at least one member drop a member of the World of Battle, but we've seen what the World of Battle can do with less than ideal player numbers.
What's that? Rat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, play to your strengths, and if you don't have player numbers, the strength is hide and go seek.
Definitely, yeah. Just hide. Actually, you don't want to look at anyone. Yeah, no, but you know that's what worked out for them. But a fight's gonna ensue here, as we see Greedy for kills. Also got the nade in hand, but no connection. They do have Bumblebee to aid them in this fight, as they're using the car for cover. But TWOB just kind of stick it out in the house.
Seems like no real reason to overaggress here. Remember, the World of Battle is 1 player down. They lost C8 early on. This flank I'm setting up, I like this position from Greedy for kills. What you do is you completely force the World of Battle to look a different direction while you're starting to swarm, and it seems like it's starting to work. They're going to start closing the gap, getting more aggressive, and Arthur dispatched of early. Nice singular kill. It is returned upon, so Nasser is down, but Greedy for kills should still be perfectly comfortable with this, and Hemo, like you say live, there's another team getting into this conversation. Just that becomes a little bit more concerning for them.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing we've seen happen a lot this game, is third parties. It is just a given. If you start a fight, everyone will swarm to a position. A Stu from DWOP is going to get knocked there.
They're out.
Do have a res. Are they out? Oh, they are. Oh my gosh. That is severity quite intense. Aegon. Actually, well, hold on. RTX just got someone from Aegon. IQ is knocked out. So that leaves 2 left for Aegon.
Yeah, Aegon losing more members. And we've seen them get into less than ideal fights earlier on. We saw them earlier up against Triple Esports and here against NIGMA Galaxy as well, but those teams near the top, Triple Esports closed that gap. I'll remind you, they had 4 kills when we last looked at them, so that puts them up to 30, give or take, plus any placement totals they will find towards the end of this. Knights are a pretty comfortable first place. They've got a 10-point gap with the next closest team. I don't think that'll change. They should probably place top 6, top 7, and they'll find a couple kills. All will be good, and they'll finish in our first place position, barring any miracles from a team like Aegon or NIGMA Galaxy. But you'd probably need a 20-point game or something like that from one of those two teams to dethrone the Kings, or in this case, the Knights. Silent. Okay.
Yeah, Pagani, man. Pagani there just in this game. Yo, they in the
Bugatti earlier.
They in the showroom there with the Pagani. Look at that. Just in the showroom deciding, we're gonna use this as our base. Man, this game. Crazy. Just a silver Pagani with his gold wing doors completely wide open. And yeah, everyone's in literally a fight for their life. Crazy game. I like it. RTX is not doing bad, to be fair. Oh, RTG.
I was supposed to say GeForce? NVIDIA? You're right.
GeForce NVIDIA.
Yeah. NVIDIA RTX. No. With Knights here seeing Conquer Iraq, these are a couple teams that cannot afford to be still in some of these fights. The teams as of right now that are in the hunt / currently in, RTG as you mentioned with a couple kills, R9, ONYX Ravens, Conqueror Iraq. Those teams need to stay alive and need to be able to find kills. So isolating gunfights, isolating team fights as well, not allowing immediate third parties to come through. Their current goal, as it stands right now, is 18 points. The next goal would be somewhere in the neighborhood of the 20s, because remember, RTG and R9 came into this game with 15. They were the cutoff, but they are still alive as it stands. As are KSA, interestingly enough, but the team I'm worried about is Greedy for Kills. And it doesn't look like... Where is Greedy for Kills? They're dead center, actually. Right above
they are. They're literally dead center. Are they not... There's not a lot of them left. KSA is on the side. R9's going to get pushed up from the side as well, with NIGMA Galaxy also kind of spread out on the map. We do see most of the teams going to get into their buggies, vehicles, some sort of transportation, start moving their way into the zone, out of the zone.
Everybody's doing the same thing. You could see, we saw 3 teams rotate south of RTG and around them. That's what Conquer Iraq is doing too. Everyone is just going south of RTG and around the bottom side of this hill.
But they might be spotted out here. RTG, they right close next to Kakad.
Are they going for this?
Oh, they right next? He's right there! Kakad!
He doesn't care.
Oh, he's gonna drive away!
Doesn't care. He just keeps going. And he has another teammate behind him as well. Both players just keep driving. That is surprising. Tiger's lucky to be alive. Do not go for huts, by the way. They are not safe, or not nearly as safe as you think.
Well, they just get shot through with bullets. Oh my word, no, Kakad. Are they be able to capitalize on this? They get one down, actually get a shot down, that's gonna land. Kakad, oh my word. Conquer Iraq managed to eliminate. What team was that they just got out there?
S2G. S2G in 12th place. KSA is now down in 11th, so that's one team less to worry about. And more teams starting to fall as it stands. R9 has just lost a singular member, not the team, just a member. And the fact that Conquer Iraq is the one that finds that kill, that's the most important part. Conquer Iraq's one of those teams that's on the precipice. They now, with those 4 kills, have gone within the 15-point range. But again, 20 is the real cutoff until you feel comfortable or anywhere near it. But the fact that they even find the res there is the surprising part.
Definitely, indeed. Greedy for Kills also trying to live up to their name and expectations. Only with 4 elims, though. They're going to pop the tires on all these vehicles, telling all of them, you guys are going to get stuck where you are. We're going to let you move from this position as we're going to let you lock down. But 2 teams going up against each other with IKURD and RTG, both of them. Ooh. Shot's going to fly through. Almost gets the knock. Whoa. Quick on the trigger. I mean, touchpad here by Modi.
This is also a weird fight. IKURD, it needs to be the most aggressive team that PUBG Mobile has ever seen. They need somewhere in the neighborhood of 10-15 kills plus a win if they want to have a shot at making it. Whereas Greedy for Kills needs maybe 5 or 10, or 5 to 6 or 7 plus a win or so. And they're looking at qualifying. And then on the complete other side of that, RTG's needs to be the most passive team ever. Placement points are their friend, and not taking multiple fights unnecessarily is the same conversation. Conquer Iraq now here. There's RTG. Shotguns will end up going their way, and 4 kills on the cards. That total, that cutoff is moving up ever so slightly.
I mean, you just said they need to try and play passive, and that's not going to be the case. Is they actually push them down and get that kill. So RTG is going to do the opposite of the cast the curse and actually able to find themselves 2 eliminations with that one. And that puts him in a good spot. We might see a little bit of action here. Greedy for kills might gonna go. Oh, this is a big fight with Knights is on the precipice of possibly being getting taken out by Greedy for kills. But both these teams trying to go down, trying to get for the play. Nades in hands, gonna cock it for a little bit longer, trying to get that timer down and to try and go. The heal's gonna come through from Hermodi as they're still trying to get the play, but the shot from behind is gonna take him out as another team's gonna go with ONYX. Actually, the team that's gonna go for that kill, managed to help the Knights out in this one. Greedy for kills still able to raise as there's 3 down. No one knocked completely. So if they're lucky, they'll just be able to walk away from this with nothing really wrong.
The Knights are down to 2, and they have found the res on 1 at least. 1 player finding a res, they'll find a first aid as well. The Knights actually down to 3. No, this is CONQUEROR, sorry. Different team that's also in yellow. But still about as important. And Greedy for kills, I was talking about them needing to find those kills. They're up to, I believe, 5 the last time we looked at them. Yeah, they're up at 5, and they're looking for more. Both players of the Knights hunting this down, but the problem is they took too long. It would have been a 1v1, but it's now come down to a 4v2, and that nade may very well spell the end of both players, and it does! Alush finds 2, and that's another couple kills for Greedy for kills, who will sorely need them, and will find them just the same.
What a Kobe throw that was, if I've ever seen anyone. And look at this, Alush is going to decide, no, my fuel's ran out on this one, my friend. I'm going to switch over, but the shot's going to fly through from the tree line as he's trying to spot it out. Going to use it for cover. They're a bit low, though. Needs to watch out. We're going to switch away as we see that CONQUEROR Iraq is also looking for possible plays as you can see the pressure building up as these players are going to start moving extremely fast to try and to squeeze out any momentum, any possible advantage that they might have out of this game.
So, the current scenario. Knights, the first place team, is gone. They didn't find nearly as many kills as they were looking for. Aegon actually just got removed as well, so that's another team on the top echelon that doesn't have the ability to increase their kill totals and therefore make things more difficult to come back from. RTG losing a member, and Greedy for kills finding more and more downs, have only lost really 1 member in the recent history of this fight. And I said coming into this, they needed 6, 7, 8 kills, maybe 5 was the real lower side cutoff, plus a win. They're already totaling up to 8, and they're looking for another. Tosca is lucky to be alive.
Yeah, he immediately jumped in the car, just putting his body away from the line of fire, helping him a bit more. And you can see Greedy for kills just looking for the play. Unfortunately, Greedy for kills, this is a time that you guys are deciding to pick up the pace. It's the last map, but they're just trying to squeeze out any points themselves as well. And they're playing really well as they are sitting at 8 elims right now, with CONQUEROR also sitting on 6. And still, Kakad's still playing this little bungalow.
More importantly, with those 8 kills for Greedy for kills, that puts them at a total of 16. Plus any point totals they'll have in terms of placement, they should be one of those teams to qualify. NIGMA Galaxy, another team that will exit fairly early. They'll finish in 7th place. R9, another team, will finish in 6th. And this is looking better and better because R9, I don't know what their kill totals were, but they were on low player numbers from the start. Greedy for kills are the favorites as it stands, and a couple of the teams they need to fight are other teams in direct contention for them. Find another kill, there goes Triple Esports, and RTG is dead. They will finish in 5th. Another team that needed to perform and could only find select kills.
Yeah, and this is where it gets interesting as we see 3 teams left standing with the final zone's going to come coming in stage 6 of the zone with 1 minute and 30 on the clock till the zone starts closing in a bit more. We do see Greedy for kills. Alush going to use Bumblebee to get a better position on this one as they're going to try and move forward, maybe get a better position behind the trees. ONYX is still in this surprisingly as they're one of the top 3 teams in this play as it starts to close in down. But that's CONQUEROR. ONYX is the...
All 3 of these teams need to qualify. Coming into this game, ONYX Ravens were at 14, CONQUEROR Iraq at 13, and Greedy for kills at 8. Including placement points, all 3 of these teams should now qualify. That makes ONYX Ravens a little bit more favorites. Clear Vision at risk, they're gone. R9 at risk. Road to Blur, CRYPTICS even more, but here comes the aggression, here comes the W key, or in this case, the left thumb forward, and damage done to CONQUEROR Iraq. They're no longer for this world. They're dispatched of in 3rd place.
And that is going to be a big hit for them. But they've done exceptionally well. 9 elims for ONYXs. They've been doing really well as well. In the car, trying to move around the back with the zone creeping in closer. Trying to move up onto this fight. Slowly starting to pick up the pace a bit more as we see them trying to push a little bit more favoritism out of this. They're going to decide just going to go straight for the play here as they go behind the box, but didn't spot anyone behind the tree. Ravens needs to watch out. ONYX getting shot out. Oh no, Lath gets taken out. The nade in hand, trying to confidence to get aside. Otherwise, going to go straight to the ACOG scope. He is playing with a small, minute percentage of health here as he needs to lie down on his belly, get that res out. Nade's going to come through from Ali. 21 might be able to get that point. Is it going to be the right nade? It's not going to be what he wants. It could be possibly bad here, but the smoke's going to help out. That's going to help them out a lot. Greedy for kills, still trying to hold on. It's going to slow down a bit now more as there was a lot of action happening. This car is on its last legs. The nade landing. Oh my word. Less than half health. Still 5 medkits and a smoke in the back. No more nades left. They do have a smoke still available. Maybe a molly. Teammate gets knocked down.
I love this.
Ali playing behind the smoke. This is exactly what they need. Trying to hold on to this best they can with the cover fire is going to come through from Ali as they're trying to get that race down. Playing from the tree, still has a good amount of health still left as they're trying to peek left and right, trying to get any sort of shot still left. But look at this, ONYX, they've got 10 elims, they've got 1 knock. That is another one. This might be it with one last person standing for greedy for kills as the nade's going to get cocked up in the right hand, tossed over the trees. It's going to land on the back end. Is it going to connect? Is it indeed? As ONYX takes the game, coming back in high fashion. What an exceptional play by this team.
And Greedy for Kills, don't discount them in that conversation as well. A team that came into game number 4 with 8 total points through 3 games. They will place second. They will have minimum 10 kill points as well. That is a bare minimum of 16 points, and that's on the low side.
Oh, man. What a final game. Time to light. That was just crazy tight. You being able to have that information on the back end to try and give us that excitement to show us exactly what these players were playing for. And ONYX Ravens coming out on top on this one. But for all the top 3 teams in that one, I think it was probably the closest zone that I've casted for this game so far.
I am also looking at this and saying there are no guarantees for a couple of these teams. RTG was okay. They picked up 6 kills, maybe a couple more plus their placement points. Similar scenario for R9. I don't think they had nearly enough. I'm going to say it, I do not think R9 will qualify. But the fact that all 3 of our final teams were a collective 9th, 10th, and 12th coming into that game, all looking for points to qualify, is the most surprising part of it as it stands. I cannot believe that. And I did not track who picked up 4th place. Whoever died between Road to Glory and Conqueror Iraq, I'm going to try and do some process elimination, but I think
it was Conqueror Iraq who got 4th. I think so.
Oh, yeah. It was Conqueror. Oh, was it Triple?
No, Conqueror Iraq got 3rd.
It was Triple Esports. It was Triple Esports.
Triple Esports got 4th. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That is surprising. So as of right now, I'm going to do some presumptions. This is not the official math. We'll get that in a few minutes with the overall scoreboard. Knight should qualify. Aegon should qualify. NIGMA Esports or NIGMA Galaxy should qualify. Triple Esports should qualify, and S2G should qualify. After that, it is basically a coin flip between CRYPTICS, Road to Glory. I'm going to say maybe R9 if they're lucky, but Clear Vision, ONYX Ravens, Conquer Iraq, and Greedy for Kills. All of the teams I just mentioned have a very reasonable shot at qualifying. And I'm going to say the 3 more likely are Greedy for Kills, Conquer Iraq, and ONYX Ravens, because all of them had very high kill totals. And my favorite playstyle of all that was Conquer Iraq, looking like, hey, we understand we need to play for kills, but they also played for placement at the end of the day. They didn't over-aggress. Yeah, they died in 3rd place, but they did more than okay at the end of the day.
No, they definitely did. They did exceptionally well. I mean, wow. I'm still coming off the hype from that game. All these teams really put in effort there, and I'm really happy that our predictions did come true. This is what you want to see with teams kind of picking up the pace and showing it a bit different. You know, we didn't really expect for especially ONYX Ravens to come out on top for this game, grabbing itself. Possibly that, like we said, possibly grabbing enough should have enough points to get themselves into the top 8. And that's where it is at the end of the day. It's nice to win this game or win today, get that cash prize, but it's even nicer to get yourself to even closer to that grand finals. So that's exactly where the quality is at.
That is an absurd finish, and you're looking at a beginning of the game where 8 teams were in very reasonable shots to close it out. A couple of them having, we'll say, disappointing finishes. CRYPTICS and R9, I think the 2 teams were really scared for. S2G should have done enough, but there's no guarantees for them. Triple Esports, their 4th place finish plus the kills they picked up, they should be perfectly fine. Again, Knights, Aegon, NIGMA Galaxy, they'll be okay. But
yeah,
after that, the top 5 or 6, it's a toss-up. The last 2 spots or 3 spots, there are 3 or 4 teams that we could very reasonably see. And I'm actually a very big fan that I can't bring up the exact kill totals because I don't want to spoil it. I don't even know if I want to spoil it for myself with the math because we have a couple teams that have no guarantees, and we could see exactly how that game went down with these highlights.
Yeah, no, good call there on the highlights timing. That was quite nice, but we'll exactly see with we'll see where these teams kind of went right and went wrong at the same time. I think it needs to be said that Greedy for Kills was the team that played it really well. The positioning was so extravagant, I think is a weird word to use, but I do feel like that kind of matches it. They played behind this little box with a bit of smoke cover, and that's all they had. Smoke and a box, and they still try to hold on. But the nades of ONYX was just too severe and too hard to try and fight up against. 13 kills.
ONYX Ravens will bring the 3-way tie for the current maximum single game point totals. NIGMA Galaxy with 23 in game number 1. Knights had only 22 in game number 2. I say only. And that shows
still
how
a lot.
dominant some of these individual teams have been. Aegon XI8 had 23 in game number 3, and that's ONYX Ravens with 23 in game number 4. That will bring their overall total to 37 points. You bring 14 points in 3 games, and you're like, oh yeah, let me just nearly triple that. No problem.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, you just said it. We don't want to say anything just yet, as we are waiting for that scoreboard patiently. Yeah, well, okay. Well, let's say they qualified. Yeah, definitely, I agree with that one. But oh man, the scoreboard that's about to come out right now is going to give us the information that we want. Ooh, 23, like you said, 23 points. Greedy for Kills sitting with 17 after getting our 2nd place with 11 elims that they got, and then obviously they got the 6 point from placement. And CONQUEROR with 11. This is, oh man, I don't care about the scoreboard right now. I just want to see the final scoreboard.
S2G has 5, NIGMA Galaxy has 4. So in terms of that tiebreaker, Aegon will finish below NIGMA Galaxy. That's important for later. The fact that S2G finishes all the way down in 12th place and still has 5 kill points is surprising to me. But that's a conversation for later. Aegon will finish, I'm thinking like 4th place here. If that, they may finish like 5th or 6th. Yeah, they will finish 5th or 6th. I don't think that they're safe anymore. NIGMA Galaxy may not be either. They'll finish with 35 points. The top 6 here, even that's a shakeup. Aegon only gets 2 points in this game.
Oh man, that is severe. That is severe.
Knights got 0.
Yeah, that's the thing. And Knights didn't like go out early. They were in for half of the game about, and they just got rushed at that one point. They got taken out. Clear Vision did not that great at all. Really struggling with that. Just get 1 point on the board. And this is now, when this other scoreboard, this is gonna be wild.
Oh my gosh!
I need to see this new scoreboard. Here it is.
Here's the overall scoreboard. Champions are Knights. They will finish in 1st place, even with only 41.
That's crazy. Points. Even with 1 point that they just got. Well, they didn't get any points, did they?
Yeah, they finished with 0. They had 16 in game 1, 22 in game number 2. In game number 3, they only finished with 3, and game 4 they finished with a flat nothing burger. Here's the overall scoreboard. Knights finish with 41, ONYX Ravens 37, Triple Esports 35, NIGMA Galaxy 35 as well, but they lose because of those point placements. That's a money game right there. Aegon will pick up 5th place. S2G just barely hold on to 6th, and Greedy for Kills and CONQUEROR Iraq will qualify.
That is massive. Greedy for
RTG is
Kills
gone.
moving themselves up so high just from that one game.
RTG is gone. R9 is gone. Clear Vision already weren't going to qualify, but CRYPTICS, they were the team we were really scared for. They didn't pick up enough. They will finish probably 9th place, if not a little bit lower. And Road to Glory goes into this game in 7th and will finish in 9th. CRYPTICS don't get a single point in that game. They will stay down at 18 and finish at 11th. Oh, there are a couple teams that you could say that's a terrible showing and feels bad moment to close out what could have been such a better finish.
Again, it comes down to this small differences, man. Like literally a couple of points that's divide. And if you have one bad game, it could be the difference between you qualifying or not. Even if you have 3 bad games and 1 good game by Greedy for Kills, you could bring yourself back into this so quickly with your score. And that's what makes these games so different from anything else, is that it's not really over till the final game gets played. That final points come through, the final elims come through. That's when the decision comes through, and you can actually get something. What?
RTG doesn't qualify, but they had the exact same amount of points as whoever was in 8th. If I'm right, they lost because of placement points.
Yeah, probably.
I was talking about those tiebreakers, and here's why. You lose because of placement points. RTG, they place 1 position higher. They qualify. But because they don't, they go home with the exact same amount of points, but in 9th place.
That is, that's painful. That's very, very painful for RTG. If they see that map, they're not going to like that at all, unfortunately. But, like I say, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. You can't really have it your way all the time. These teams did exceptionally well. And I think, if anything, if you did not qualify today, you can walk away with a good amount of experience underneath your belt and the ability to look back at this and go, you know what? Even though we did not do great, we still played up with some of the best. All these teams, like we said, is tier 1 teams. So a lot of opportunities still improve it for a lot of them, and they did exceptionally well. What a best of 4 it was. We're going to look at the Roma in a way as well. But just to touch back on the game, man, it's exceptional just to look back, just to try and think back of what we saw today and the games and the plays that came out because of it. And I think I'm just so grateful to be able to have casted that, because these teams gave us good fights.
Every single time I cast a PUBG Mobile event, no matter what it is, it's usually Arena Esports, but there's always a last game, whether it's Game 4 or Game 5, that is ever so close, and you weren't expecting it to be, and it's ever so important for a couple of those teams. The top 4 teams, all being teams that needed to place that high for tiebreakers. RTG finishes in 5th, and could have ended up with more at the end of the day. If RTG finishes 4th, or even 3rd there, they qualify, but because they don't, they end up exiting at a tie, and it hurts them at the end of the day. Here is our prize pool. $1,500, as we said with earlier, on $250 worth of Arena Esports points. First place, $500 to the Knights team, with $350 going to the ONYX Ravens. And here's your roadmap. Another 8 teams sent to the monthly finals. Still the open qualifier to come, and still the monthly finals to come down the line. But there's only 2 real other open opportunities for these teams to make it. We got open qualifier in a week's time, which is not streamed. The monthly finals for those teams who have made it, which is, and the last chance qualifier in January on back-to-back days, which is streamed as well.
Yeah, and then from now on, Nice is going to move straight onto the grand final. So they have segmented themselves. No? Is it
They'll
not?
go to monthly
No,
finals.
they'll go multipliers, sorry. And then they'll play up for the grand final.
Yep.
But still, they've cemented themselves a good spot with the other 8 teams to go straight to the monthly finals. And that is going to be really great. And soon we're going to start seeing some big games. 4 monthly finals, last chance, playoffs, grand finals. Man, it's around the corner right now. It's really, really around the corner.
I am excited for playoffs. I gotta say, grand finals I'm really thrilled for, but playoffs, the fact that we see 2 groups there, I cannot tell you how thrilled I am. Last chance qualifier as well. We have so many teams headed there. We can only send 8 to the playoffs. We can only send 12 from the playoffs of 32 teams. And if I'm right, it will be the top 6 from each of the 2 groups of playoffs. And that is a concern. I think we're really mixing up groups as well. I gotta say, Shaky, this is probably one of the best PUBG Mobile events I've casted because, wait, I just looked up at our scoreboard again. CONQUEROR, Iraq, and RTG were both at 24 points. And I was talking about tiebreakers. It turns out both of them were at 12 kills and 12 placement points. It came down to who did it later.
Yeah, that as well, isn't it?
Wow.
That as well.
Well, that is an amazing showing for an event that I cannot believe ended quite literally based off of a tiebreaker of tiebreakers. Wasn't even placement points that decided things. Shaky, before we send things away and before we close things out, any final thoughts on our 4 maps? And Erangel twice seemingly offered some of our best play in 2 very different directions as well.
I mean, I'll keep it short and sweet. I think a big thank you for this team's playing today. Today, my final thoughts on everything has been exceptional. And to you, the viewers as well, thank you for all the comments and the nice words that we've seen in the comments today. I've seen just on the side of my screen. You guys have been really nice to everyone that's in chat. If you guys want to see more of this action, please give the Arena Esports a follow on YouTube, subscribe, go check out the Twitch channel if you guys want to see it in different languages. A big shout out to you guys. You guys are the reason why a lot of these brands can keep on investing in these events and help us casters as well to cast more of these. So if you guys want to catch any more of this action, please go check out Time to Light for his casting. He did exceptionally well today. I had such a good time casting with him. And as well, if you want to go check out any of my casting, I will be doing more Dota events with Arena Esports. But other than that, Time to Light, thank you so much for today. It has been a baller of a game.
It has a baller of a few games, 4 maps all summed up. A massive shout out to Arena Esports, powered by Etislap by EN, 80 Gaming, our strategic partner, and Playtonia, our broadcast partner, allowing us to bring you all of these games. Your 8 qualified teams to our last monthly finals in order. Knights with 41 points, ONYX Ravens with 37, Triple Esports with 35, NIGMA Galaxy with 35 as well, but they lose because of tiebreakers, as we said earlier. Aegon X I8, even after a 23-point game, can only pick up 10 other points through 3 games. They finish with 33 and in 5th place. S2G, a few unfortunate finishes, puts them down in 6th at 27. Greedy for Kills, a return to form and a heroic finish. 8 points is all they had through 3 games. They finished with 25 and a 7th place berth to the monthly finals. And then CONQUEROR Iraq win a very narrow tiebreaker. Same amount of placement points, same amount of kill points as RTG, but RTG is the one who is sent home. CONQUEROR Iraq will go to the monthly finals. There are 2 events left, at least with open qualifiers, to send teams to the playoffs. We have monthly finals as well down the line, open qualifiers as well beforehand, and last chance qualifiers come January to send more and more teams to our Arena Esports playoffs and grand finals. We hope you join us for monthly finals and last chance qualifiers down the line. And we thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Right now, man, active. Gone with the game like a bandit. We bring the flame like a mattress. Let's mean up, but don't slack this active. Stand up and tell us I'm on there. Active. 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 One look like massive. Talking with an average brandish. Control now hold the world hostage. Wanna start the bumper class match with when we step on to the place, get active. 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 Active.
Everything you want, but you can't have. Number 1 regret, no takebacks. The hole in your chest, that's payback. Payback, yeah, you better take that. You could call me selfish and critical, I could take the blame. Just like I could take a match and send it up in flames. Don't say I didn't want ya. This might hurt, but that's just karma. Better take that. Call it payback. Don't say I didn't want ya. Stay mad, I know you wanna. This might hurt, but that's just karma. that's just karma. Go and play the part, play the victim. Throw a pity party with your demons. Blaming everybody and you're screaming, screaming. But I'm the one bleeding. You're the one that's selfish and critical. You could take the blame, just like I could take a match and send it up in flames. Don't say I didn't warn you. This might hurt. That's just karma. Better take that. Call it payback. Don't say I didn't warn you. Stay mad, I know you wanna. This might hurt, but that's just karma. That's just
I'm craving hope in this darkness. You say I'm just a joke, just a joke. Shivers my spine so bad.